The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
With Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, Swift Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift Neo, you feel me. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On set, vibes up, you feel me.
Swift Neo.
the all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. the Acer Aspire Lite, with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast street, cool moves, snap a pic, we groove, wipe slit, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes like those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy all night. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo. You feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy all night. Work off play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow.
Turn it with every tap and glow.
Swift neo, that's how we roll.
Don't see it, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast street, cool moves, step a pick, we groove, web slid, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's ride band roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's ride band roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes like those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy all night. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift neo,
You feel me?
lightweight game, heavy all night. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift neo, that's how we roll.
On set, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast street, cool moves, step a pick, we groove, web slid, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's ride band roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's ride band roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes lit, those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on night. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo. You feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy on night. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On stage, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. The stage now continues, and the games are just gonna get even more heated up because the upper bracket rounds are just about to start, and it's gonna be your boy Aggressive with Clashing on my side to give you all of the action here today. Jumping on down over onto you, Clashing. I want to know exactly what you are feeling, what you are thinking, because here at the Predator League, things have gotten a lot more heated than what we witnessed in the first initial day.
Indeed, indeed. Things are getting heated now, and we are already on the playoff stage, right? We're about to witness two upper bracket semi-finales today, and both the games are gonna be later because these are going to be, both the games are gonna be a BO3 series. So aggressive. I'm expecting a lot of things, but one thing that I'm sure about is we are going for a final showdown for both the games, and that is what I really, really want to witness.
Absolutely, that is exactly what you want to see coming out from both of these squads as well. And honestly speaking, that first initial game really does hold a lot of merit as well. We're going to be talking more about that match later, but first of all, we need to talk about the journey these teams have gone through to reach this playoff stage. The open qualifier is absolutely brutal. There was a lot of teams that wanted to put their hat in the ring to see, to put their name, sorry, into the hat to figure out who's going to be the one to head to that grand final stage and take that one-way ticket over towards that land. But this playoff stage as well has been just as brutal. Yesterday, sorry, two teams did bow out of the tournament because we were playing those lower bracket matches. Today, we are back in those upper brackets of both of these teams. All four of these teams, sorry, they do have that safety net of that lower bracket run for themselves, but no one wants to go down to that lower bracket. And the two teams that we do have for you for today, ladies and gentlemen, they are, how do I put it? They are the best of the best in the entire region. Jumping on down over into the schedule now, once again, ladies and gentlemen. First initial game will be GGEZ going up against the side of RAD Syndicate. Now, you guys could be wondering, who the hell is GGEZ and why would they have a hard time against RAD Syndicate? If you hear the names on their roster, you'll instantly understand why. I'm just going to start things off with just one singular name that will send shivers down the spine of any professional player. Vibhor is on this roster. Trinity is here. Kohli is here as well. And you also have DC, players that have time in and time out proven to be the greats and proven to be those squads that are the face of consistency. But up against Rat Syndicate, you know that they also have really good names on their team, and Paradox is going to be the one who's leading the charge from that side.
Well, let's see how the game is going to take place because, as you rightly mentioned, we have some amazing players on both the ends, right? And I'd love to watch Bivor in action. I'd love to watch these players in action because we're going to have a BO3 series. And as you were telling, Aggressive, that game number one, that map number one matters a lot. It kind of makes sure where the trajectory of the game is going, where the trajectory of the series is going, and whoever wins that game number one will be a lot more confident than his opponents, right? Than their opponents. So I'm really really excited to witness all the three games today, and I'd love to know what was our draft like. Which game are we? Which map are we seeing first?
Yeah, we're gonna need to wait a little bit for the map selection to come on down through, ladies and gentlemen. But as we are gonna be waiting for that, let's talk a little bit more about the storyline for both of these teams, right? GGEZ as a squad, I don't think they have played together as much, but they have a lot of skill players on their arsenal that can really push
Mm-hmm.
them forward to that right limelight, right? But then again, when they're up against Rat Syndicate, a team full of also very experienced individuals, but at the same time, these individuals have already played another tournament together in the past. So they already have a different form of synergy between one another that they can utilize to really propel themselves forward. And if I do recall properly, Rat Syndicate only lost out to the team that took the championship in the previous tournaments that they did play in, being Team Asterisk. So historically, Rat Syndicate as a team can easily be a top three contender in this entire country. But the question will be, will GGEZ with this brand new squad of mix in a ragtag group of players really be able to make that difference happen? Will it really be their opportunity and their chance to be those game changers in this particular tourney? We don't really know because here at the Acer Predator League, everything is just in the unknown. And there's no quantifiable evidence, sorry, that will support that, hey, GGEZ, they can easily take this game and possibly take a 2-0 victory. This can easily go down to a 2-1. And honestly
Mm-hmm.
speaking, if you look for my prediction, I can't give you a straight one because it could go in either way.
Indeed, it can go either way because, as you rightly mentioned, we have some extraordinary players on both the ends, and the stakes are pretty high, right? This is Acer Predator League India Qualifiers, right? So if you become the champion here, if you win this, you're getting a direct ticket to the finale. So anyone would love to have that, and we have some pretty amazing teams. We have seen their journey. They've come a long, long way from open qualifiers. Only top 8 teams reached to the playoffs, and we have. Two of those teams, right? Both the teams are looking amazing, but the main point is how are these players for GGEZ are going to play in a good coordination, because that's going to be the biggest challenge for them. Individually, all these players are amazing. Individually, they have
True.
proven themselves on many stages till now. In the past, even in the present, we all are familiar with the names of DC, Bibhor. These are some amazing players, but the question arises, how are they going to play against a team like Red Syndicate, that's in the scene for a long time, that is well coordinated? So yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to witness that action as well. And as we always say, that game number one is going to be really, really, really important for both the teams.
Absolutely. That is exactly what you want to see coming out from both of these squads. But at the same time, understanding your limitations and, of course, understanding what you can do to really push past them is also going to be a necessity. You can never get too complacent in the positions that you are in. And that's one of the bigger flaws that Rat Syndicate do have as a team. They tend to underestimate their opposition when they do have a lead, and that's when their team starts to fall apart in more
Hmm.
ways than one. But what is not going to be falling apart for you guys back at home is going to be your banks. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get yourself a really powerful gaming laptop, then the people here at Acer Predator, they do have it all out for you. Because the first initial offer that we do have for you is going to be the Predator Helios Neo 16 Slim AI. The Predator Helios Neo 16 Slim AI is the thinnest Predator that they have built and crafted for gamers and creators who need full-scale performance in a sleek, ultra-portable body. But at the same time, don't let the size fool you. Inside, it's going to be packed with a high-performance CPU and a very powerful GPU, in addition to a thermal system that keeps it cool while you guys are staying back on the move. Make sure to check out all the links down below the description, because to make sure that your wallets are not going to be crying, of course, here from the side of Acer, you will get a gaming monitor for free with every Predator Helios purchase. In addition, you can also get a cashback of up to 5,000 INR and instant bank discount of up to 15,000 INR when you are making these purchases. So there's a lot more laptops on sale as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking more about those ones whenever we are jumping on down in towards the game. But honestly, I'm excited for this map selection to come in, and as the graphics is all getting ready, I want your prediction here, Clashing. Do you believe that a Rat Syndicate can take this victory, or are you a little bit more on the side of GGEZ?
Uh, it's really hard. I think it's not gonna be right to pick a side at this point, because aggressive. We both know the game can go anywhere, right? And as we just discussed, the players are looking great, teams are looking great. But you just mentioned a very important key detail, right? The Red Syndicate, whenever they get some kind of a lead, the kind of made some foolish mistakes. So I hope they do not do that. And I believe Red Syndicate, they do have kind of a slight better chance, considering the amount of coordination and the amount of experience these players have playing together. So maybe that can play a massive role, a key role in winning this upper bracket semi-finals. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a key stage. These teams are
Absolutely.
already at upper bracket semi-finale. So just a few more steps and they'll be the finalist, and they can even win this India qualifiers. There's a huge prize pool, there's a huge opportunity to represent your nation at the global stage. So I wonder who's that going to be, because we still have 8 teams in the playoffs.
Yep. We're really gonna need to see how well they're gonna be able to play and how well they will be able to adapt, because out of everything that has happened, both of these squads, they are pretty much the most adaptable ones, but at the same time, the members of Rat Syndicate, they do have a couple of small changes in their overall setup here, because Homeboy, I do not believe he's going to be playing here today. If he does, then they have a pretty easy chance of taking this victory, but there's just too many different factors that we always do need to consider, especially when the game of Valorant is taken into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
There's what 24 rounds of uncertainty in any form of a game. Either the A side could be a problem, it's either the B, or in towards C
Uh-huh.
as well. You never really know. These three-sided maps have been a home favorite actually for a lot of these teams. At Rat Syndicate in particular, they do love their Haven and they do love their Lotus. So I'm expecting at least one of these maps to come through for the map selection. But again, going on back to the point that you also made previously regarding that first initial map, taking that deep dive into that first one and taking a victory as well on top of that, where you're trying to understand how your opponents play, that's what you really need to do. That first map can set the pacing for this entire BO3 to make it a series where you are going to be the ones to take a victory. But that's where I do believe the problem really does lie, right? Because GGEZ, if they're the ones to take this victory for themselves, then they're forcing the members of Rat Syndicate into a very uncomfortable spot. Because Rat Syndicate, there's a lot of games for these players. There's a lot of matches where they've already played on the previous tournaments, but GGEZ, they don't have
Mm-hmm.
that much statistical data. There's not really a lot of streams showcasing what this team is capable of. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
the synergy between these players are just far superior than anything that we've ever seen coming out from them.
And I think that's also an advantage for them, right? Because nobody knows what they're capable of. Nobody knows what they can do. Not even Red Syndicate. Yes, individually we all know how capable these players are, but nobody is particularly sure what's their play style when they play as a team. When all these five players are playing together, so that might even surprise Red Syndicate, even us. So I think that's a very good chance. For this team to maybe do something to surprise us all. And who knows, this could be a 2-0, right? The chances are pretty slim, but not at all impossible. Anything can
True.
happen in this game of Valorant. And we have seen some. Uh, we have seen so many things like this happen in the past as well, where nobody's expecting a team to win, but they come in and they totally destroy their opponents. So maybe this could be the case, but then again, we'll just have to patiently wait for the game to begin. We're talking about all the factors that can pretty much change the game. There are so many. There are so many. Even sometimes we have even seen a lot of experienced players. Even they struggle in some of the games, right? So I hope that does not happen with any of these 10 players. But the main question is, I think maps are the thing that matters the most in the game of Valorant. And I wonder what's going to be the map picks, right? Because once we get to know that, we can still assess which team might dominate which map, what their previous stats are like. So maybe, but yeah, we'll get to know that pretty soon too. But the main question here, aggressive, is once we begin the game, how are GGEZ gonna play, right? Because that is what we all are waiting for. That is what we all are uh, trying to figure out. And I think even Red Syndicate is also trying to figure out that only.
Absolutely. There's just so many different variables that you need to consider. And these games taking a little bit of time to start things up, technical difficulties being there, plus the tactical pauses that you can take while you're playing the game as well. There's a lot of different ways to break the momentum of that opposition. And if things do get rough, there's always that chance to just calm yourself down, bring yourself back in towards the game, and really turn the tides back in your favor. And as we are waiting for just a little while, a while longer, ladies and gentlemen, extremely sorry for all of the delays here, but we need to give you the best possible Valorant action that you could ask for. So we're trying to see whether or not we expect a lot more from the side of Rat Syndicate versus GGEZ. We've already beaten the dead horse as much as we possibly can. Let's talk a little bit more about what we could be expecting from that second game. That sadly I won't be here. You will be here doing it with my favorite boy, Universal Studios, or Universe, as you guys know him from back at home. He's going to be taking over the next stream. And honestly speaking, I'm a little bit more excited for that one because two of the best teams in this entire tournament, and arguably both of the squads that should be the ones to win it, are going to be playing on that one. S8UL going up against Team Asterisk. Now, that is a game that we have to talk about because honestly, that particular match could easily shape this entire tournament. If Asterisk do fall, they are a team that know how to bounce back purely because they have a coach on their team that is the definition of experience when it comes down to the Valorant game. And Antidote alone has proven that if he's given time to cook and if he's given that time to just really do his research on a team, SATUL, they should be shaking in their boots.
Well, let's see. That's the matter of future. But as for now, we have the map picks on our screen. The game number one is gonna be on Heaven, on the map of Heaven. Then we'll bounce back to Lotus, and for the decider, we'll head towards Bind. Bind is going to be the decider. So Heaven, Lotus, and Bind are the three maps that we'll see in this map of GGEZ versus the Red Syndicate, and that's going to be a long day for sure.
Gonna need to see where they're gonna go with this one. Agent selections in front of our screens, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much the exact same composition getting picked up by both these teams. So GGEZ
Wow.
pretty much read the strategies of Rat Syndicate, and Rat Syndicate did the latter as well. Now, this ISO Euro composition has a lot of merit, but at the same time, a lot of different faults as well. It's very dependent on whether or not the team really does know how to play it to its fullest caliber. Homeboy is not going to be the one to take the limelight here today, but instead, it's going to be Gurv coming in to really fill in those shoes. Now, Homeboy, as a player, he has proven to be an absolute dominant force in so many of the rounds that he did play for. But now, as we're jumping on down over into the games here, ladies and gentlemen, the map of Haven is just about to start, and this pissed around already, soon to get heated. And honestly, I'm excited for this because both squads running a much more of a traditional composition now for the map of Haven instead of going for something like a Breach and Neon. So slow play and of course tactical synergy will be a very big necessity to make this Euro and ISO comp work.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's see who's going to be the better, who's going to play this comp better, because we can see a mirror composition on both the ends. Makaveli, the sixth man, is on the ground now. But let's see how they want to enter. Site C, they are trying to move through the garage, although it's a slow and steady beginning. Trinity gets a frag, not just one but two. That's a pretty good 1v2 trade. GGEZ. Meanwhile, Red trying to even the numbers, but they've failed doing this.
A little bit too risky in this fight. You can tell that they've already dropped down a bit too much here. Mistakes were made, but doesn't really mean that the mistakes were that problematic. For now, though, slow and steady wins the race for the members of Rat Syndicate as they're making their way towards the opposite end of this garage fight. Is going to be the first one to be taken. Coley, close on the angle, has the classic in hand. Good for the one kill, but Gurv immediately answers back. He finds the shot that he needs to. DC over from the sidelines broke the ISO shield, and there's not really much that you can do to try and turn this one back. DC has the possession and the crosshair placement to bring him back down to Earth. GGEZ, they take the first initial round for themselves as the map of Haven starts off in their favor. And goddammit, Paradox, he pinned to the wall with bullets, but he couldn't really hit Trinity. Now Cuddy, good movement coming out from that ISO. As honestly, GGEZ, they have a proper game plan in mind for this defensive side. You can already tell from their overall setup, but how will Rat Syndicate really answer here?
Let's see. It's gonna be pretty hard. Red Syndicate. Well, I like how GGEZ, they are patiently just waiting and they are utilizing all the abilities they have. Already leading with a 1-0 scoreline. The second game, the second round is going to be a piece of cake for them unless Red Syndicate does something. Oh, Makaveli gets one. He does have some idea that there might be another player there, so he'll simply step back. Easy, a pretty good lead there. Makaveli gets two and Kohli gets two as well. Yeah, that was a pretty good buy round for Red. Easily got the victory, a 2-0 lead for GGEZ. A pretty good start, a very good head start for them.
I love the flex that Trinity is taking. I did buy the Champions bundle, but seemingly not using the Vandal in this case. Or even the knife. Good God. Did he just buy the flex in this case with the trophy just spinning around? Bit of a surprise, but for GGEZ now, it's all about the stability that they're able to get in this particular round. Trinity with a fast swing. The Guardian just doesn't hit the shots that it needs to. Good early couple of kills being taken here by the members of RAD Syndicate. The shots just keep on connecting, turning things around. It's going to be none other than Vivor up and ready for this duel. Is he going for the second? Doesn't really have the weapons fully reloaded, and instead it's going to be Paradox who does punish him for it. Plan to come through, and it's GGEZ now. Opting for a retake is going to be none other than DC. Positions not really in the best of spots. He's going to need to try and pick up a weapon for himself. Yes, he will be able to. But even then, this 1v3 is almost nigh impossible for him. He has no information of where the players are, and with all of them holding and hounding from inside of the side, he needs to isolate every single 1v1 and not get traded in the process. It's not going to be that simple because Paradox has his phone number to call him up. And GGEZ, they fall. First round going in the favor of RAD Syndicate.
After a long 2-round wait, the third round goes to RAD Syndicate. Utilized their buy very, very well. A 2-1 scoreline, and after that plant, they were simply holding on. And I like how all three of these players were covering all the blind spots, making sure if anyone shows up, and DC did, and they took him out within seconds. A 2-1 scoreline, and RAD Syndicate, they'd love to carry this lead forward. They'd love to carry this forward, but that's gonna be pretty hard. GGEZ once again patiently waiting, and DC, you'll have to be careful. If he goes down, then it's going to be pretty hard for GGEZ to retake C. They'll simply back off. What are they up to? Are they gonna move towards B side? Maybe they will, but no, Makaveli. Just holding on. Drone to collect some info. They still have no idea about Makaveli. He can get one. Yes, he will. He gets the second one as well. And he'll safely back off. GGEZ, another good beginning. This could be their game. This could be their round. A 5v3. RAD. It's going to be real hard to plant this spike now.
Look at Trinity. He's kissing his monitor. Good God, man. The guy's got glasses and he's that close to the monitor as well. Maybe he needs to get himself an Acer monitor. He catches an Acer Helios for himself, but never mind. Tricky. He doesn't want my very fast segue. But Machiavelli, he does want it instead. He spots out one more player. Paradox up and ready to take this fight. Shuts down the one player. Immediately, Trinity comes in alive for this kill. And they are able to survive. Trinity able to control the spray at the very last second to get that headshot. And GGEZ, they take the third on the board for their names. Good God, this first initial round half for Machiavelli was absolutely sublime.
A single mistake can lead to this kind of results. That indicates they need to be a lot more careful from now on. They'll have to check each and every single possible angle. Machiavelli got two pretty good kills. But a 3-1 scoreline now, and once again Machiavelli, he'll step out. He's a Yoru anyways, he can come back anytime he wants. But RAD Syndicate, the pressure is now building. The economy is already troubling them. Trying to enter through the shots. But Trinity can make the game. Sova with a drone. He has no idea. Yes, he has some idea, but no! Seriously, Bibhor. He was not expecting this, but now it's all down to Trinity. Omen is there to save the day. Trinity gets one, but an ultimate ISO. Perfectly done. Collie might go down, but no, he won't.
Just in a little bit more of a bad spot here. Trinity not going to be able to do much there. Runs out of bullets in the worst possible time. You would have expected that he would have just utilized a kill contract to guarantee himself one kill at the bare minimum, but instead he does fall because of it. DC now needs to turn all the way back from a possible flank over towards the opposite side. It's all dependent on whether or not he can easily get this turnaround play. They're gonna be expecting him, and it's gonna be Paradox for the first fight. Knows exactly where the last is, and sings. He's none the wiser for a DC. Making the members of RAD Syndicate disconnect instead. Fast on these swings, and a beautiful kill at that. This is the bundle for you, ladies and gentlemen. The champion showcasing that there's 9 more rounds for them to end up this half. And with 9 more rounds, they take up, if I recall, an 11. My math was off for a couple of seconds. 11-1 scoreline for this first initial half. But good God, RAD Syndicate, did they get close to taking this victory here? Don't forget, this was an equal round coming out from them, and they were this close to finding this victory.
No doubt, and if ISO could have got that frag and that kill contract, this could have been their round. It was so close. But DC, once again showing us what kind of a player he is. But before, I really would love to see some good frags from his end as well. A counter kill contract this time, and Trinity, he's not gonna miss. Curve goes down. It's already a 4-1 score, and GGEZ once again, they do have that man advantage. They have some intel as well. Aggressive, every single round counts, and GGEZ, they've got a pretty decent start, and we all know the amount of confidence they are feeling right now. That's a major source of the skills that are coming just at the beginning of the rounds.
It's a little bit dicey in the way that they're approaching this before. He's going to be the first one to wait in for this fight. Good, perfectly placed out recon, but it's just not going to be enough. Before not able to survive and not able to live. These smokes coming in from the members of GGEZ were just not enough. Players couldn't hide in from inside of the site, and even though before had a perfectly placed out recon, it just couldn't do much for them. UV finally able to come on alive for this one. Machiavelli on the flank, but it's just not going to be enough. Tricky instead puts it back down in towards his grave. 4-2 as GGEZ, they have fallen. As RAD Syndicate, they take another one for themselves. This round initially for the overall take was just really smart too, because the Cypher from RAD Syndicate placed down a cyber cage right in front of them as the recon was just about to go through as a scan. None of the players pushed in because they knew that GGEZ placed a recon in the corner. That means that they can use their own recon to go in for much more safer smoke through shots and prevent anyone from GGEZ from easily trading them out. A well played out round indeed coming out from them, but they need to be careful in this one because close quarters on the fight. It seems as though the members of GGEZ, they took these fights directly to the opposition, and they're able to fall. UV with another one, flashes coming through. Max Machiavelli just not able to survive, and instantly UV, he just runs on away. Curve is going to be able to find a beautiful shot there with the Outlaw, turning things back, and it's going to be a 4-3 going in the favor of RAD Syndicate.
RAD Syndicate finally coming back, finally getting some pretty good rounds, and yeah, every minor thing matters, every minute details, they all matters, right? Utilizing that cage in such an intelligent way really helped them. But with this, it's a 4-3 scoreline, and RAD Syndicate they won this third round as well as GGEZ. That was an eco round for them, so yeah, they never had a chance, but yeah, they tried pretty well, even got 2 good kills with the help of those sheriffs.
These rounds have really come down to the wire here. So many of these fights were pretty much required to take victory. The ones who did take the victory were none other than RAD Syndicates for a very specific reason. They just had that perfect understanding of what their opponents were trying to do in so many of these rounds. But what is a surprise is the name Hacker actually coming in, because it's been so long since I've last seen this. Hacker was a phenomenal coach from back in the Team EXO days, because I still remember Team EXO had a roster with Sai in it, and Hacker was the head coach for that. And the fact that he is now back, this goes to show that almost a lot of those big names from back in the day are now making a splash in the scene once again. Pause has been taken by the members of GGEZ to just give them that pep talk that they need, that, hey, things are not over just yet. You just need to speak to each other and finally find a side push that is going to work out in their favor. The buys have already come through, and Newbie in towards the back of side. A little bit of spam being invested before. Good for the opener onto the first kill. He's going to find that catch, but Trinity does fall for towards the back lines. 4 versus 4 now across this retake, as the defenders are now trying to fish out at least one attacker who's a bit too out of position.
Already a 4v4 scene and Hunter's Fury. That Hunter's Fury did got a pretty good frag, but a counter frag is already in the process. It's going to be a post plant scenario. Makaveli, Dimensional Drift, counter Hunter's Fury, and that's gonna be a pretty hard retake. All they are doing is just wasting your time, and there's nothing you can do about it. Makaveli gets a good frag on Girl, but there's no time left to defuse. All they are going for is DC.
Wait, never mind,
DC
what?
is defusing Makaveli with a 4K. Makaveli, a spam through the smokes, and this totally worked out for them. What was that?
There's no way that the man just sprayed in from inside of the smoke with a Vandal, and he perfectly controlled it to get that triple kill. Makaveli, this man just got away with daylight robbery. And his team was able to win the round on top of that as well, with 0.28 seconds left on the clock. It's insanity.
That's insane, yeah. It's insanity. I really was not expecting them to win that round, but Makaveli and DC not giving up. Now this is the spirit you really need. GGEZ once again trying to maintain the lead they already have, but this time Trinity is gonna go down, and RAD Syndicate once again trying to secure a good entry point. Makaveli with a counter frag. They're already making their way on towards B side. The position is already compromised, and Paradox, tricky, is gonna plant this spike. Let's see how good of a post plant they can play this time.
This is where the round's gonna start to get a bit more interesting. RAD Syndicate just send everything into the wayside. Caution to the wind pretty much to try and take this B side for themselves. The hat of the Cypher does come off, and it's going to be Chereki who now comes alive. The shots to connect coming out from them. Gurv now knows the position of Kohli. The jump spot was perfect, but Kohli alive and kicking to go in for the double. He's looking for more, but Paradox instantly brings it back down to the floor. 5-4 as RAD Syndicate, they're not yet ready to give this one up, and these rounds, they are instant, just like the instant replays here, ladies and gentlemen, because Tricky, good God, it deserves to be in the limelight for this one.
Man, Tricky. That 1v2 saved the day for RAD Syndicate. It's a 5-4 scoreline already, and RAD Syndicate, just to rightly mention, they are not ready to give up, and they are not giving in at all. All those counter attacks, all those retaliations. That's the reason the scoreline is still so close. A pretty good recon from Bibhor. Now they know where their opponents are headed. Yoru with the clone, Garv. A kill contract. He can get Trinity. Yes, he's gonna get Trinity in the kill contract. Let's see if this time he can make it successful. There you go. No, he almost missed it. But yeah, pretty good entry. RAD Syndicate this time with a pretty good man advantage as well. A 2v4, a 1v4, and once again, he is the last man standing.
Out of everyone that Kohli could have ran into from inside of the smoke, it had to be Gurv, right? With the ISO shield ready. The poor guy just can't catch a break. He tried to be cheeky with it, but the members of RAD Syndicate have now found that opportunity for the equalizer. Once again, poor old DC ends up trying to go in for a clutch here. He's going to be always good for that one kill, right? But to go in for a full-scale clutch, take down all of those members, it's always going to be difficult. He does find his second, and these exit frags are all that he can really hope for. Because Tricky is up and ready to instantly shut him down. He tries to force entry up to the side. 5-5 on the scoreline. It's RAD Syndicate. They take another victory for themselves.
Quite impressive from RAD Syndicate, because at the beginning GGEZ they were looking very powerful. They're still uh, looking pretty good, but then again, it's a 5-on-5 scoreline now. A pretty good equalizer from the side of Red Syndicate, and they still do have a pretty good opportunity to finish off this half with a 7-5 scoreline, right? Let's see who's gonna get these final 2 rounds of the half. It's going to be pretty interesting to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 1 of this best of 3 series, map number 1. Whoever wins this gets a 1-0 lead in this upper bracket semifinals. Once again, oh, this time they are going for B side and they are going full power on. Kohli gets 1, gets 2. That's perfectly done. A pretty good start for GGEZ, and they know where Paradox is. GT comes into play. Kohli and DC will completely annihilate Red Syndicate this time. Wow, man. Kohli, those 2 cracks at the beginning? I was not expecting something like that too through the smoke.
Just needed a tiny bit of information. And of course, it was his Sova was able to give him that perfectly placed out recon bolt to instantly find the catch under the 2 players that were trying to run in towards the side. And after that, it was just smooth sailing for Kohli. He has that spray control that is required to be a professional player, and just utilize it like that to shut down your opposition. Just goes to show the amount of practice and the amount of hours that you have put into the game. For Kohli, it's just like another day in the office, right? The guy plays ranked all day long. His performance, not really that big of a surprise when he is that much of a grinder, but for the other members of GGEZ, even though they have those kind of superstar level players, they're not looking as warmed up yet, but a lot of their members have really started to turn things up now. They need to be careful as RAD Syndicate opting for a little bit more of a faster entry than usual. Full speed ahead for them, but Trinity still alive. He's going to be able to find the opener. That's tricky. Now taking the back seat with so many of the players coming in from the other side of C Long. The spike actually was not picked up, so it's not even close by for this one. They're able to hit these shots, and look at Trinity. Good God, the man's just hitting everything. And one after the other, the players fall. And the C side, the push coming in from the members of RAD Syndicate instantly put to a halt, ending the first half on a 7-5 scoreline.
That's a pretty good scoreline for GGEZ. They finished the half just the way they started it. A 7-5 scoreline, a decent lead indeed, and if they can just start off and win those early 2 rounds in the second half, that's going to be a pretty decent lead for them. Makaveli won 13 kills, 7 deaths, and 2 assists. Trinity 12 kills, Kohli with 11, DC with 9, and Bivhor with just 3. But that Sova dart that came in, that recon when Kohli got a 2K on B, that was so perfectly timed. It was so perfectly timed. That was the main reason they've got that round. On the other hand, we have Paradox leading the charts. But let's see if Red Syndicate can come up with a decent defense strategy as well. Because GGEZ, we have seen them patiently just wait and wait and wait till the very last moment for Red Syndicate to make a move. What's going to be Red's game plan? Are they gonna go do the exact same thing? Are they going in? Yes, they are. UV gets DC from behind, utilizes his Yoru capabilities, will back off immediately. And GGEZ, they were not expecting it at all. Garv gets blinded, gets paranoia. Trinity goes all in. Cypher holding the heavens. That's going to be a pretty easy plant. They have the side, and a retake in a 4v4 situation is not impossible, but pretty hard for Red. They do have a Sova. They can collect some intel. Misses all the shots. Recon comes in, reveals 2 of the players' position. Kohli gets a counter frag. Oh, perfect shock dart, and Kohli is at the center of all this, and so is Makaveli. These 2 players will completely annihilate Red Syndicate, even though they've got a pretty good start. They've annihilated the opponent Cypher, and that Cypher is that Cypher is DC himself. That was a pretty good kill at the beginning of the round, but after that, the way they've planted the spike, the way they've controlled the site, and each and every player were holding their designated positioned so well. So yeah, that was a pretty easy. That was a pretty easy defense. GGEZ 8-5. Now they have a pretty good buy as well. So yeah, this should be an easy round for them. Not making a move. Paradox. Now he knows that Machiavelli is playing on a Guardian now. Let's see. Paradox. Holding the garage. Are they going in on B? Yoru on the move. Machiavelli. No, I love how Red Syndicate is simply waiting for them to go up.
Oh, no! Paradox!
Man!
Still
Such good
gets it.
timing,
How is he
Paradox.
alive? The fact that Paradox even got that kill there was up close and personal. Tricky lost the timing over on the one. He's going to be able to shut down two at the bare minimum. Tricky! He's now pulling up the
Wow.
tricks here. Smoke and mirrors for the overall strategy as the members of RAD Syndicate now, they're at the man advantage. And it's gonna be Tricky who's gonna need to try and equalize things out. Good played out round coming out from Trinity there because he understood that, hey, because we've lost out on so many of our members, we need to be the turnaround point for this. UV for the fight. He's going to be able to find the catch over onto one. Vibor playing it risky, but these kind of risky angles is something that you need to take from time to time. One of the players have been spotted. Goes for the corner, spies, and it's going to be UV who utilizes the sound coming in from the Cypher to get the pounce on his opposition. Vibor, he was none the wiser for it. He didn't expect it to go like this. He thought that there was absolutely no one coming in from Garage. If he was playing this slow, he should have been the first one to take contact to gain some information. But instead, the fact that UV completely baited out the Cypher and then Tricky came in for the massive lurk like this, I love it when I see it. RAD Syndicate, they're always that X factor of a team that you can never quantify.
That was a big setback for GGEZ. They had a pretty good buy. They had those Spectres, those Guardians, but still, they had no idea what Red Syndicate is up to. And the timing sits really well with the team. GGEZ. Now they do not have a buy. That's going to be an eco round for them. All the players on those Guardians. Maybe some classics. Oh, they're going all in. Gonna easily enter the garage. But you have Cypher holding on to the seaside. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really hard to just get on the side. But they're gonna utilize all the Sova abilities. Tricky comes up, gets to Bivur and DC. They are giving it back, this time with those sheriffs. UV gets one with a shotty. Red and GGEZ, a 2-on-2 retake it's gonna be. Now both the sides do have some weapons too.
I don't like this. Look at Gurv's positioning. He's all the way in towards the back. I don't think they're going to be ready for this. This is on a really bad angle. Gurv. He's giving away his position though. They now know that a player is coming in from the side of long. Perfectly placed out. Silence here. They're gonna need to try and find this catch over under the player coming in from the spawn side. The shot just misses out, and this has gone from bad to worse because Gurv now stuck in this 1v2 situation. Vibor around the corner goes for the swing, doesn't really find the kill, but Gurv can't go in for the flick fast enough. Instead, it's gonna be DC who shuts him down. 9-6 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen, to take a 50-round win for the members of GGEZ. They have not given up after what happened in that last round. A thrifty for a thrifty as RAD Syndicate. They got a taste of their own medicine.
Yes, a thrifty for a thrifty, and what a play came in from the side of DC. Whew. I really thought for a second when they all pushed in directly on towards C, I really thought that it is game over for DC because he only had a sheriff on him, right? But the way he came in, the way the guy played it all out, that was amazing. But with this, GGEZ and Red Syndicate. Oh, that was a pretty bad surprise for this Cypher and GGEZ. Man, I really got a. I think that Cypher got a mini heart attack for a second. All the 5 players in front of you when you peeks in. That's a big surprise. But with this, the good part is that GGEZ, they're not aggressively running wild. Instead, they're giving it all, and they're simply taking their sweet little time to plan it all out.
Look at how aggressively that they're playing as well. This is what's really smart about all of this. Because they have map control galore on the opposite side of the map, as soon as GGEZ try to go in for any form of rotation, they will be the ones to fall. They need to be careful in the way that they're taking this fight. Trinity's going to be the first one to take a back seat because of Tricky being an absolute unit of a player. Players still in towards the back of side. They need to worry about this. Yuvi's position now known. He does fall. The Cypher not coming alive here. Sings good for one more kill, but the trade still favoring GGEZ here. RAD Syndicate with the weaker weapons tries to turn this one back, but Cody with an unorthodox plant spot does find it, and he survives, completely isolating out another one of the bigger win conditions for the members of RAD Syndicate in this particular round. It's big investments being done as Gurv doesn't really have the weapons to take this fight just yet. With a Marshall in hand, he tries to swing across, but DC instantly peeks out to go in for the final kill. DC with the spores. Now DC looking for his last. Paradox opting for that trigger discipline play up close and personal. DC should be the first one to fall, but before he had that sixth sense, the spidey senses were tingling. Turns around to go in for that instantaneous headshot, and DC, he's able to survive. The play was good. It could have worked, only if Vivor didn't turn around there. Good try coming in from the members of RAD Syndicate, but GGEZ, they had a good read on what they wanted to do in this round.
No doubt, they had a pretty good read, and they just did what they set out to do. Just look at this. Paradox tried to outplay them both, but before just in time. Golly, before DC. I love how DC is so back in the game. Got a 4K in the previous round, a 3K in this one. Here comes the moment where his ultimate. Tricky gets a pretty good first frag, first blood, but Tricky with a 1v3 before going down. Golly. Oh, Paradox. A 2v3 this time. GGEZ planting the spike on A is not gonna be easy. Kohli, he does know where Paradox is, but he has no idea about UV. And UV is gonna simply finish him off as well as Makaveli. A 10-7 scoreline now, and RAD, they know it. It's high time. They'll have to win these rounds. They'll have to give it all they have, because from here onwards, GGEZ, they just need 3 more rounds to get a victory in this very first map of the BO3 series.
These rounds have really been going in the favor of GGEZ, and you can tell that RAD Syndicate on this much more control-heavy play style, it just doesn't really fit them in the way that you would have expected. But then again, turning point now. Only whether or not RAD Syndicate are able to get this one back. Paradox does fall early, and this has just gone from bad to worse. Thinks his position. Now revealed, he's going to be the first one to get picked up. And Trinity, his shots are just reigning supreme. He doesn't miss these ones now, does he? Instant rotations to be coming through. Gurv is going to be able to shut down Vivor, and it seems to be working. RAD Syndicate now in a little bit of a disadvantage, but then again, look at DC's positioning. He's up and ready all the way in towards spawn. He had that perfect lurk to go in for that perfect play. As UV utilizing the gate crash to bypass the tripwire, they're not going to be wise to this, or are they going to be the ones to expect it? Will they be ready for such a hit? The question being, only one player will fall. Everyone else is safe. UV already gave away his positions. They know exactly where he's going to go to. Flash is coming across to try and maybe go in for this plant. Paranoia up and ready, and there's no way that UV is going to be able to win this if he tries to go in for a fake defuse here. He needs to try and find this kill. Positions revealed already. UV just trying to maybe bait out a couple of more of these players, but he's just done. The Paranoia is going to get that catch on towards him, and Kohli instantly just jumps across to go in for that kill. 11-7 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. It's GGEZ. They look to be a force that cannot be seen.
GGEZ with 11th round victory for themselves. It's an 11-7 scoreline now. Remember, just 1 more round and they'll be on a match point. Just 1 more round. Kohli gets UV. There was no way. There was like no way we could have won from that position. They had a proper position locked in. They had a proper plant. So that was an easy round for them. GG easy. Let's see. Trying to spam in through the smokes, hoping to get a frag just in case. Oh, Paradox is holding on to the garage. Not gonna be a prize decision to peek in there. UV gets DC once again. That is what he did in round number 1. That is what he is doing once again in round number 19. But Bibhor gets one. Bibhor! Paradox gets him, but Trinity with a pretty good trade, and GGEZ, they still have a man advantage. And remember, they have a pretty good weapon advantage as well.
GGEZ with the man advantage, the weapon advantage is just really that difficult to stop. Nothing really much that you can do to try and turn it back onto their side. The shot's already connecting, and Machiavelli had that perfect timing and that good read to give GGEZ the 12th on the board. One more round for them to instantly take the map of pavement away for themselves. Honestly, this was kind of expected, but at the same time unexpected as well, because RAD Syndicate, them going in for a strategy like this, it's a little bit unorthodox, because this particular team really does well when they are playing in for much more of a rush-heavy setup, while this particular composition is much more control intensive. You need to understand what your strengths are and what are your weaknesses, because these particular fights, they're just leaving everything to chance. While you can tell that GGEZ, for them, this particular composition just fits like a glove, because this is how the team is really in that proper lining. Because Sinks, though, never mind, he's maybe gonna be the one to turn this one back. These rounds just not going in their favor. DC is gonna be good for one kill, but good god, DC, he just got instantly slapped on by every single one of their players. The fast flood coming in for the members of RAD Syndicate for this retake was a very pleasant surprise, a big change of pace for what they generally like to do. But honestly, Sinks getting that kill onto Machiavelli was pretty much what put that final nail in the coffin. There was no way to take that entry anymore. And RAD Syndicate, they found that olive branch and the second win that they needed to possibly get themselves back into this game.
That was insane. Red Syndicate, they really said it. The game is not over until it is over. That was a pretty big slap for GGEZ, but then again, they are still leading by 4 rounds. UV gets DC once again every single time. Whenever he gets the first frag, it is DC he's taking on. Machiavelli. Trinity gets one. No idea. UV goes on towards B side. A kill contract. Trinity is gonna get that Cypher pretty easily. He does not miss such opportunities. But Paradox has no idea about Trinity, and GGEZ once again. They have a man advantage. They have a position advantage, and we might even have our winner of this very first match.
Possibly, yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's tricky now. The only one alive, the last one to just really maybe turn this one back in his favor, but it's all but over. Has the Hunter's Fury, but also his opposition does so as well. There's no real timing for him to even utilize it, because Trinity is up and ready for this kill, and they instantly find that frag. GGEZ, they take the victory under their belt in a very quick and decisive fashion, actually, here clashing, because I was very pleasantly surprised, because I expected this to easily go to something like a 13-11 on either one of these sides, but instead GGEZ have proven that as a team they can play those much more control heavy setups, and I'm hoping that RAD Syndicate, they understand this. They're not really a team that can easily utilize a Euro and ISO comp, because it really has a lot of intricacies in the way that you want to play it, and unless your Euro player knows how to actively play initiator as well and swap in between the role of being a duelist, who's the primary form of entry, and also stabilizing and allows your team to easily go in for hits, it's never gonna be that easy in the way that you want to play here. There was a lot of mistakes being done as well by the members of GGEZ, where they didn't properly utilize the different combos that you can do with the Dimensional Drift and of course the Hunter's Fury coming in from the Sova. They could have done so much more, but even without any of that, you could tell when it came down to the map control fundamentals, GGEZ, they just had Rat Syndicate beat on every turf.
No doubt, they literally beat them down on every turf, and I think the results is also reflecting that there was a huge margin, right? It was an 8-13 scoreline, a pretty decent victory for GGEZ, and that's gonna boost their confidence a lot as well. So remember, this is a BO3 series, but in this game number 2, GGEZ, they're gonna come up uh, a lot more confident, a lot more aggressive. Maybe they'll be totally different since round number 1. Although if you talk about this game number 1, we have seen GGEZ, they've got those early 2 rounds, the beginning 2 rounds of the game, and after that they were trying to control the narrative, they were trying to control the momentum, but the way they were getting denied, that was phenomenal as well, right? We have seen so many good clutches coming up from the opposition, that is Red Syndicate as well. They have shown us the amount of coordination the team has, right? The thing that we were talking about on the desk as well. So who knows? There could be a comeback, because this is a BO3 series, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, not until any teams gets 2 victories out of 3, there's no absolute winner until then.
I really do hope that Homeboy is going to be coming on back for that second game, ladies and gentlemen, because I really want to see him back on the server, because the dynamic of how Rat Syndicate generally like to play changes when Homeboy is on that team. He's much more of an aggressive player in comparison to Gurv, because Gurv, you can tell that he doesn't really like to take a lot more of those active fights. And as we jump on down over into the scoreboard, it's going to be able to paint a bit more of a better picture for you guys as well, where Gurv just didn't really have the performance that was expected from him when it came down to this match. Going 7-19, he was struggling to find a lot of value on this ISO, while on the opposite side, Trinity, being the much more aggressive player, he took those aggressive duels with full confidence, and that's why his team was just able to win. Your ISO needs to know how to frag out of his mind to really make this composition work. And you can tell that Machiavelli, yes, he had a much more positive KD, but he took that also took a much more supportive role as well to help his ISO go in for plays like this. It's a bit tough, but honestly, GGEZ, they just had the better team in this particular match.
No doubt, even a single element can make or break the game, right? And I think Gov not performing very well, or even well, played a massive role in Rad's defeat. But at the same time, the way Trinity played on that ISO, the difference is clearly visible. Almost thrice the amount of kills. And at the same time, let's forget Machiavelli for a moment. Just look at DC. Even though he was playing on a Sentinel, he has 20 kills. Absolutely amazing KD, a very good ACS. So yeah, I think DC played a tremendous role as well. And I still remember, I think around mid game, there was a time when GGEZ were losing some rounds continuously. I think they've lost 2 to 3 rounds, and after that, continuously we have seen DC getting a 4K in one round and a 3K in the next one. And after that, GGEZ retained their momentum once again, and the results are already in front of you all. It's a 13-8 scoreline. GGEZ, a pretty good victory. Red Syndicate, they need to figure something out, especially with the duelist segment. MVP goes to DXC Trinity, and why not? The way this man played every single entry, he had a huge role in it. 20 kills, 15 deaths, a pretty good KD, 6 assists for the team as well.
Yeah, Trinity was an absolute unit of a player. 20-15 to his name, 276 ACS with 177 damage per round. He was an absolute unit of a player, and that level of aggression is necessary whenever you are playing on the map of Haven. As that second map is going to roll around, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to need to wait and see whether or not the members of Rad Syndicate can really find that turnaround and play for themselves. But as we are going to be waiting for that second map, I want your predictions. Do you really think that Rat Syndicate are going to be able to come on back for game number 2, or will it be a 2-0 victory going in favor of GGEZ?
Well, I believe it all depends on Garv, right? if the same kind of duelist play continues, I do not think there's any chance at all to defeat GGEZ, because it's a team game, right? And all the five players have to participate in it. They'll have to put something on the table. And if Garv does the same thing that he did in this one, I think there were like so many rounds, right? You have already mentioned this, that we have seen some mistakes, some minor mistakes, but those minor mistakes combined uh, can make a huge difference, and that is what just happened, right? So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in that game number 2. We'll get to know that once the game begins. So yeah, let's see.
Yep, we're going to be heading on down over into a very short little break, ladies and gentlemen, while we set up that particular game. Make sure to check out all the links down in the description, and of course, a pinned comment on the side. If you want to enter onto the giveaway as well, make sure to type in !Acer Predator in the chat if you want to win yourself that wireless mouse. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be heading on out into the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Valorant action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. As we are back after the first initial fiasco that we did have coming in from the members of RAD Syndicate, they were having a very difficult time up against the members of GGEZ. The way that GGEZ have been playing, it was phenomenal. You could tell that they had a system in play, and they, of course, had a coach to really back them up just in case anything went wrong for that particular roster. You could tell that everyone, they had a proper game plan in mind, and they were able to execute it flawlessly, and they were not really tested as much by the members of RAD Syndicate either, because RAD Syndicate relied a bit too much on their overall aggression to give them that victory, and as soon as their aim was just not hitting the mark, that's when GGEZ were ready to come in, pounce, and of course take their opposition by storm. The game of Haven was played out in one direction, but Lotus is going to be a completely different story, and honestly, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it with this one, Ashay.
Yes, indeed. I'm excited too. And remember, this is going to be a pick by the Red Syndicate themselves. The last game, the previous map was a pick from GGEZ. They were the one victorious in that map as well. But this map of Lotus is picked by the Red Syndicate, and I wonder what they're gonna do on this map. But as for the compositions, we have a Breach, Omen, Fade, Raise, and a chamber composition coming up from the side of the Red Syndicate. Finally, not a mirror composition this time, aggressive. In the previous game, we have seen a mirror composition from both the ends, all the same agents. But this time, there's a kind of a difference. I can see a Fade, a Breach, and an Omen on the attacker side as well. But there's a Vice and a Neon to make a difference. Trinity, I am quite sure how this player is going to play. He has already proven himself in the previous round, in the previous map. But the question is, how is Curve going to utilize that Raze? He is indeed a great player. Rage is indeed a great agent, especially on the map of Lotus. But we have already seen Garv choking in that game number 1. And I hope he does not do the same in that game number 2, right, aggressive? Because if that happens, then it's going to be a very bad situation for Red Syndicate.
Especially when it comes down to the composition that they're going in for as well. UV has proven to be an absolute unit on this particular map when he does have the chamber in his arsenal. That chamber alone has proven to be that winning factor for this team for this particular map, while GGEZ, they've not really gone in for the much more aggressive based comp because they're relying on UV and Kohli to really take over this map in the way that they have played in the previous one. The question being whether or not DC will be able to fill in the role of that Fade as well. DC generally is a player that is known a little bit more for his Sentinel levels of play, while Vivor is a bit more better on the Initiator. I do question what the game plan for these players are going to be looking like, because RAD Syndicate, they have a lot of aggressive tools to their arsenal, and they can put a lot of pressure on what GGEZ are generally going to try to do. Even then, a bit risky here. He's going to be the first one to go in for those kills. Remember what I said about UV being that X factor and being the win condition for the team? He's already started things off with the shebang. Getting 2 kills with those Headhunter can easily turn the tides in their favor. No investment being done, and UV is ready to go in for more.
Indeed, they are. UV gets a third frag. What? UV.
Woohoo, DC.
Totally getting that round for his team, and that's gonna be a pretty fast round for Red Syndicate. Already showing us this is their map pick. This is their home ground. Let's see if they can just keep on doing this again and again and again. Aggressive. GGEZ, they'll need to figure something out. But then again, this is just round number 1, ladies and gentlemen. And defenders, they've won a pretty good victory. They've got a pretty good victory in that round number 1, thanks to UV.
Absolutely. This is what you want to see coming out from them. RAD Syndicate opening things up in the proper note. It's the way that the teams have been playing. Bit risky, but at the same time not risky enough. GGEZ finally got a taste of what UV is going to be doing throughout this entire game here. They need to be careful of allowing this chamber so much free space. Because as soon as UV is in this mount position, he turns into an absolute unstoppable force. But even then, good God, with a no-scope, UV just catches out Trinity in the open and TP's out almost instantly. That's a free kill coming out from him as a rendezvous, giving him the edge that he needs. Now looking for more, it's going to be UV. The Outlaw just keeps on hitting and it keeps on giving even when the round is just going in the opposite direction. It's all up to UV now to go in for the ace. He doesn't find it. Bebor slaps him down onto the earth, gives him the reality check that is necessary for this to happen. It's now Rat Syndicate. Good God, this round was a show for UV, and he can see exactly why. But now Vibor, given that chance to turn this one back, given that opportunity to go in for the kill, but he just can't find it. Ops and of course Outlaws, not really his best weapon. This Rat Syndicate, they take the second on the board, but good God, UV, you are an absolute demonic entity.
Man, oh man, what is UB up to in this round? We can clearly see that this chamber is his comfort pick. Man, the way he's connecting those shots, this is insanity. It's already a 2-0 scoreline, and UB in just 2 rounds already has what, 7? 8 kills? I think 7, but this is insane. Being a chamber, let's see. Red Syndicate, that's a pretty good start. GGEZ, finally a buy round for them, and they need to win this, right? This has to be their round. This is a proper buy for them. They've got those Vandals, Phantoms, whatever they need. But look at that. Red Syndicate already holding on to C side, and they're making sure GGEZ does not get the entry. Quali gets tricky though. There's only one person remaining on C, and that is Paradox.
Working in the way that you would have expected, Paradox. So easy for these kills. He's still able to find so much value. Flashes in the hands of these players. They know what to expect on the opposite side. Paradox still up and waiting here. It's going to be the breach. He takes the first line of contact. Smoke placement was good. They're going to be able to shove Paradox off of that angle, but they still need to worry about the close borders, proximity. Stuns come through. Paradox's position now revealed, but they've yet to clear out the corner side. No one's turning around in time, and it's going to be Sings who does find the double. He's going to be able to find the third as well. Good God. This is Rat Syndicate now being back in their elements. This is the map where they like to play, and this is the map where this team have finally showcased that, hey, being in the much more aggressive side, being a playing a composition, mind you, which allows you to play a lot more aggressively, is where they will really shine. And Saints just, even under so much pressure, he didn't miss out on a single beat that gets the triple kill for their team. And even though this was a very well played out round from them, Rat Syndicate, they just turned everything on its head with just some good optimum position.
As we always say, maps play a crucial role in the game of Valorant, and that's clearly visible. Red Syndicate, it seems like a totally different team, a new team. 3-0 scoreline, and GGEZ again with no buy at all. Depending on those sheriffs, on those stingers, Trinity, that was a pretty good try, but he's gonna get denied pretty easily. Garm gonna utilize that boom bot. No, that rotating door cannot help you. UV gets Bibhor, and it's a 3 versus 5 situation. That is going to be an easy round for Red Syndicate once again.
These rounds have really gotten in the favor of Rat Syndicate for this very reason. Where Rat Syndicate have seemingly just found too many different chances to shut down GGEZ. The pause has been taken here almost immediately. GGEZ or even Rat Syndicate are probably having a bit of a technical difficulty coming out from their side, but honestly, GGEZ, I want them to show a little bit more urgency in the way that they try to establish informational control here, because a lot of these rushes that they're trying to do are just done with the lack of information, and UV has just been a player that's been utilizing this to its fullest. Out of all of these rounds, UV's been able to get so many kills because they try to go into him blind, and even then, the brilliance of one single individual player, even when he's bombarded by utility, it's always going to be a problem. Seems as though GGEZ was the team to call this technical timeout, so let's just see what they're trying to cook up here with their players soon to be coming back. I'm interested, to say the very least, of the way that GGEZ are going to be coming on back to this, because this is the buy round that will be coming on down from them, as the players are now calling that they're up and ready to go in towards the game here once again. RAD Syndicate, though, their ultimates are soon to be coming online, especially with the 2-4s no longer be available for UV here. He does still have that operator in his hands that he did buy out on. So for GGEZ, the first order of business, will be to figure out exactly where this op is going to be holding. And knowing UV, will of course be standing towards the side of Mount on the seaside.
Well, let's see RAD Syndicate. Well, their confidence is surely back even after losing that map. Number 1, it's a 4-0 lead to begin with. UV gets one and he's got his hands on an operator now. It's gonna be pretty hard for GGEZ from this point on, because UV with an operator, especially with the form he is in, especially in this game, that's totally insane. They're gonna rotate instantly, moving on towards A side. But there we have Tricky, there we have Sings, there we have a Rage as well. 3 people are already holding on to A side, so it's impossible to just roam around and enter the side, right? So yeah, they'll have to be very careful. Trying to enter through the trees. Fade with the ultimate. DC, this is your opportunity. They'll go on towards B, but do they have any idea about Omen? Not yet. RAD Syndicate, now they'll have to play a retake.
GGEZ, they do have the plan down for themselves going into this retake. It's not going to be that simple here, because GGEZ, right after this technical timeout, a fire's been lit under the team. They're a lot more aggressive for these fights, but Sings, he's still a danger man to try and fight against this GGEZ down over to the last players. He still finds a shot as UV in the corner. He doesn't really find the chance to go in for that shot before he gets this clutch. And good God, this round was so much more closer than what it should have been. Because GGEZ, they just turned everything on its head almost. The RAD Syndicate, they were able to stabilize. They were able to take it down to a 2v1 with the odds stacked against them. And if this is how this game of Valorant is going to go, GGEZ, they're going to have a really rough time trying to establish a proper economic lead for themselves.
Man, oh man, GGEZ. Finally a breakthrough, but UV, what is he up to today? Aggressive? Seriously, what is this guy up to? Already got the first blood. A 4-1 scoreline, and GGEZ, they've got one good round, but you cannot do that again and again if you keep losing your players like this. Before gets a counter frag, but that's gonna be a pretty good trade before it goes down. A 4-1 scoreline. GGEZ seems to be struggling. This is bad. This is really bad for GGEZ.
I don't know where they're going to go with this one too. Fernando Coley does find a bit of a free plan for themselves, but with RAD Syndicate having that man advantage, they're just crawling their way up for this retake. Positioning is going to matter so much with all their players just playing from the opposite end of B main. I don't like this, because the smoker is still alive and kicking for RAD Syndicate. One smoke and they're just done and dusted. UV's just going to hold on to the line here with that operator. I have no idea what they were trying to plan. Yeah, they have the rolling thunder to try and force off this plan, but even then, this is so risky for them to take a fight on Machiavelli, though. Never mind. With a perfectly timed out teleport, he's going to be able to find a double. Now looking for one more. Machiavelli's in towards the corner, but the spam and the spray just keeps on coming through, and it's going to be Gerv who comes on alive, opens up his kill book, and RAD Syndicate taking a 5-1 to their name. This round was absolutely gorgeous, but look at Gerb and his aim. He is back on the server, ladies and gentlemen. And even though Machiavelli pulled off a miraculous performance there, getting those 2 frags, I have no idea why you would ever want to play a retake situation like this, where your post plan should be inside of the side, or at least one person needs to go in for a flank. Your opponent's smoker is still alive, and situations like this are bound to happen if the controller is still there.
I love how the whole team of Red Syndicate is now back in the game, especially Garb, the way he got that previous round. If not for him, that was a done cause. That round already belonged to GGEZ. Paradox is there. And I like how UV is playing as a base, how UV created a pretty good scenario, and the whole team is playing in such a way that they can maintain this lead and they can drastically increase it. Already a 5-1 score line. Remember, in the previous game, the first half was a 7-5 score line, and Red Syndicate, they are already ahead of what they've planned for. UV once again gets the first frag, and Paradox has a golden opportunity. He's gonna utilize it. We'll get 2. UV gets the second one, and now it's all down to the last man standing. Before it is, you can get a frag, but you cannot get the round for your team.
This is just absolute insanity coming out from them. The fact that RAD Syndicate, out of so many of these rounds, they've found so much value. GGEZ, they're left scratching their heads here. And we were kind of expecting this too, right? That the team's dynamic is going to take a massive shift, because now they're playing something that they're a bit more comfortable with. As it seems as though a triple line has been set up with all of their members now opting to go in for something like this. Interesting, RAD Syndicate, they're feeling confident in the map of Lotus, that is for certain, but that's a risky fight for you to take. You need to be careful, because UV is still up and ready, up in arms to try and take this fight against you. Trinity up close and personal for this engagement. The players trying to maybe make a full-scale rush to try and take this fight up against the members of RAD Syndicate in the seaside, but at this point, they're just trying to invest as little utility as they can, just to bait out even more from the opposition. Paranoia already utilized, so GGEZ, they'll have an easier time making this execute work, but the question is, where do they want to go to? With early C aggression being established and immediate rotation over towards the A side, Gurv, he has yet to spot out any of these players that are trying to shoot on towards him. That's the smoke now being taken. Gurv is going to be able to find the first initial opener. Sinks is going to be able to find one more. Tricky does get shut down by Vibor. And now they're looking for more. Positions revealed, but Sinks somehow, while he was jumping down, shuts down Vibor. Wait a second. That was a criminal play coming out from him. And now it's all up to Coley to try and make a comeback happen. But on a 7-1, Vibor, he's got to be mad about that.
GGEZ, they're constantly trying to get some breathing space at least. They have no breathing space at all. Just look at the situation. It's a 7-1 score line. Out of those 8 rounds, only one GGEZ was able to win. On the other hand, UV, he's sitting on 14 total kills. Then we have Sinks with 11, Gurv with 6, a Tricky Paradox also playing a pretty good support role. But at the same time, GGEZ, they seems to be struggling. Before, he is getting some good frags, but most of the times he's the only one surviving in the team, and a single player maybe can get a single frag, maybe 2, but he cannot just simply obliterate the whole of the opposition and secure a round. That's insanity. 7-1 score line now. Gurv, he is totally back. You can see it, you can feel it in his game. Trinity, let's see. He'll be back off, and this time they'll be at least able to plant the spike.
Able to make it work. Nightfall now utilized to try and get this retake situation ongoing for them. But for the overall positioning, you can tell that this is risky. So many ultimates now being utilized here already. Coley has no idea what's coming in towards him. The angle's perfect. It's going to be tricky with the first initial opener, but still, Machiavelli just missed out on the opportunity. He could have gotten the double for himself, but the panic just starts to settle in as RAD Syndicate, they're an absolute tsunami, just washing over their opposition without any care in the world, sweeping them off their feet and and shutting them down one after the other. 8-1 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen, as RAD Syndicate, they are here to take this map by storm.
Indeed, they are, and this is what pressure can do to a team. Just look at this. This is the same GGEZ that simply dominated Red Syndicate in the previous map. But just look at them now. Trinity with only 2 kills so far. He's on a Neon with only 2 kills. And GGEZ, I cannot believe, I cannot even dream of what they are thinking right now. How they're planning to come back. Just look at them trying everything. They've tried C, they've tried B, they've tried A constantly. They've even planted the spike in that previous round. And you could clearly see you could clearly feel the pressure. When Omen missed all those shots in panic. Tricky gets an easy frag, gets the second one before Accountant frag did came in. But before gets one, can he get the second one? Yes, he can. Garv. This could be a pretty good round for GGEZ if you can take this breach down in. Yes, they will. Now it's all down to Paradox. It's all down to these 2 agents, Omen and a Chamber. Oh, they have no idea about Paradox. Makaveli. Do they know? They have some kind of idea, but Makaveli is not so sure about it. Paradox. A reload. And there you go, it's all down to UV, and his position is already compromised. But look at the HPs. Look at the HPs. Makaveli, perfectly done, but I'll have to say UV, that jump shot, that was perfect. And just look at the HP. Makaveli was only 12 HP. Wow, what a round.
If Valorant was a game where you would have 100% accuracy while you're jumping, or just a little bit of a better accuracy, there was a universe where UV would have probably gotten that kill, but good God, these rounds are getting way more closer than it should be, even in situations like this. Members of RAD Syndicate showing their utmost confidence no matter what is being given to them. It's going to be UV once again, who just wanted to take that fight. Playing it risky, but those kind of risks that he is taking is giving them such an advantage. Vivor is going to be able to catch out Paradox, who was a little bit too aggressive, but UV, even with that, the operator just reigns in supreme. Still hits their shot, still gets the turnaround play that they wanted. The shots just do not connect from the side of Trinity, though. His Neon's not been able to find a lot of value. Instead, it's going to be UV, who's still hitting his Headhunter bullets, trying to reign supreme, but DC finally shuts down the menace to society known as UV. The raid boss on the server no longer being present. One more player to be spotted. It's going to be DC straight with the wall bank to go in for that kill. And now it's all up to Gurf. Has the position for one. The shots do connect. And Cody, he takes the back seat, looking for the last. It's going to be DC, who needs to try and pick up that spike in absolute no man's territory. It's Gurf playing it a little bit safer, but he spots at the top of the head and instantly swings out and go in for that kill. This type of duelist play is what we were missing in map number 1. And for Gurf, going on the momentum of his team, going on the momentum being created by players like UV. He is now on the server, activated and ready, ladies and gentlemen. GGEZ, they have absolutely no clue what is hitting them.
Indeed, GGEZ, they have absolutely no clue. They've tried everything. I really have no idea what they should do right now, and I think even they have no idea what they should do. Aggressive, they have tried everything. They've tried C, B, A. They've tried going totally in, totally aggressive. They've tried maybe a little back down, a slow and steady approach, but nothing seems to be working out for them. UV. Watching out for C. Makaveli, they've got a pretty good entry on B. The Spain Shell. And you wonder, Trinity with a Bucky. Can he get this? Oh, Makaveli, a pretty good cover. Very good cover indeed. Trinity. No. They're going absolutely aggressive. A rolling thunder in the play. Totally unexpected rolling thunder from the side of Breach. Oh, through the smokes, Makaveli goes down. A 2-on-2 it is. GGEZ. Can they win this? Can they finish this first half with a 9-3 score line? Pretty hard though, because Breach is still in the game.
Let's see where they're gonna go for this. It's RAD Syndicate Only one member is alive for it. It's gonna be none other than Sinks, who's been an absolute demon when it comes down to his mechanical skill. Now looking to take a little bit more of an active fight here. They need to be careful though, because GGEZ, with one of their members being on low HP, Sings can easily turn this one back in their favor. He's looking for the early fight, and he's going to be able to do so. That's a free 1v1 already being given away, but DC is just one of those players that you want to have, especially when you are in these clutch situations. 93 on the scorecards as GGEZ. Now they need to win 6 rounds consecutively to try and take it back from the defensive side onto the equalizer. A bit of a rough start, but honestly speaking, GGEZ, they can pat themselves on the back to at least get that cursed goal line going for themselves. But UV, 20-7. This guy has just been a driving force that no one was ready for.
No doubt he is. And the way he started things off with 7 kills in just 2 rounds at the beginning of the game, that kind of set a narrative, and that kind of gave the head start his team needed from him. There you go, Trinity. Just look at them. Even though GGEZ is now on the defensive, they are betting it all in, because they are very, very well aware of the fact that if they lose this round number 1 of second half, the game is practically over for them. But let's see Paradox. There's only one person holding on to the C. Okay, there are 2. DC gets 1, gets 2. DC! The team depends on you. Before gets a good frag as well, and DC with an abnormal and absolutely amazing play style gets 4 consecutive frag and a flawless round for the team. GGEZ will have to constantly do this. They'll have to do this in every single round aggressive, because there's no window to breathe, right? Red Syndicate, they're already sitting on 9 round victories. They just need 4 more to secure this map. You do have a 1-0 lead, but remember that lead will be gone. That lead will be gone if Red Syndicates wins this map, and then we'll head towards the finale, then we'll head towards the decider, and GGEZ does not want this. In fact, after after watching this, the way Red Syndicate dominated them, I do not think GGEZ would like to go to a third and a decider map.
We'll have to wait and see though. It's GGEZ. They've proven to be a team that can really go the distance here when they're on that defensive side. But even then, you can't count your chickens before they hatch. And already, weapons being given away. GGEZ kind of got caught here in a bad spot as their players just couldn't really hold on to the side. Too many close proximity fights up against those close range weapons. They're in a bad spot already. The timing not really in their favor. Paranoia now utilized. UV coming alive here for those last couple of shots as the swing comes in from the CT side. But it was just a little bit too little too late. The execution just didn't really come through together. And instead, Rat Syndicate, they take the Thrifty for themselves. This was a full-scale rush on the C side that, with a 4-man push, they were able to make it work without any form of problems.
Red Syndicate. Man, what is this team doing? The amount of coordination we can see in those pushes, in those even when they were on the defensive. Well, the game is flawless, especially for them as of now. It's a 10-4 scoreline. GGEZ, no, they were not expecting this at all. UV, even though he was stunned, even though he was trying to back off, a single shot and 2 kills in. It's a 5-4. It's a 5v4 2v5 situation now. And remember, GGEZ, both of those 2 players are on Sheriffs. No, one is on Classic, and DC. Is this the end of him? Yes, it is. And now it's all down to Bibhor. A flawless round coming in for Red Syndicate. And they are just 2 more rounds away from taking this victory on their map. This is the map they selected in the draft. This is their map, and it is going to be a 1-on-1 equalizer if they win just 2 more rounds.
This is just an easy breezy match for the members of RAD Syndicate here. You can tell that they're in their element for the map of Lotus, and anything that that did happen, sorry, on the map of Haven seemed to have just been a testing ground for them. Being at the much more comfortable spot is going to be their members, but UV already taking a slight little bit of more damage than he usually does. Vibor does have Horn Vines to just give a slight bit of an edge here. Vibor able to survive at the bare minimum, but even then, Gaurav's position's already revealed. They're still alive and kicking the weapons in their hands. They need to turn this one back. Vibor in towards the back of side. Tricky trying to find the opener for this, but he just can't get it. Easy ready for this duel. Trinity now coming alive. Finally, this is the player that we were missing out on so many of these rounds. GGEZ, they finally show signs of life, taking these fights and taking it flawless for themselves. 11-5 on the scorecards, yes, but GGEZ, they still have a lot to give in towards this round to really mount this comeback back in their favor.
Let's indicate. The good part is that they have a humongous lead. So a single round cannot trouble them. But then again, GGEZ, every single round matters. Even a single round can change the trajectory of the game. But once again, they are going for a big push just at the beginning. Neon goes all out and UV is already ready. He does know what's gonna happen, but Trinity gonna outplay him. Gets the very first frag in the form of UV. AC again holding on to the C side, and as long as this guy is holding on to a side, it's pretty hard to enter C side. They've got a breakthrough though. Kohli will back off. No. Paradox. Kohli knows where he is, but Paradox gets him. Makaveli with a trade. GGEZ. They still have a chance to win this round. But it is RAD Syndicate we are talking about. So it's gonna be pretty hard. And remember, Garv is back in the form too.
Able to find value here. GGEZ down in this 3v3 situation. They're not looking as hopeful as you would have hoped for. As Vibor nearly got that one. It's so necessary for him to find more here. Spots out the last players, and he already knows exactly where the last is. Tricky just playing the mind games here over from the side. Didn't really have the bullets to go in for a full-scale spray. Tricky, he's able to survive. Couple of seconds left on the clock. 7. Maybe this is the turnaround point that they needed. Paranoia does come through. Goes in for the hit, but the shots just don't connect. Coming in from the shorty. Tricky. He nearly got this round, but the shorty just peeled him at the very last second. Saving him with 19 HP. GGEZ, you are thanking your lucky stars for that one. Because the 12th round could have easily gone on the board of RAD Syndicate because you gave him those 3 1v1s.
GGEZ, that could have been the biggest blunder of this map, of this game. It was so close. Just look at this, even Paradox. He did got a pretty good round, but then again, before the way Tricky got those 2 back-to-back frags, that was insane. And even Makaveli was only 19 bits of his health. He could have gone down with just a single mall hit. Oh, no, Trinity, no. You cannot do the same thing again and again and again and expect to succeed every single time. UV. He read right through them. Got an easy frag, and now Vibor. The responsibilities of this player are much higher this time. DC and Vibor. They have plenty of idea as how many players are simply holding on to just outside C. Will they enter? Yes, they will. They are already on a move. Vibor goes in for a spree, but no. Gets only one. Gets denied instantly. But let's see, what is DC up to? He's still there, and he denied the entry completely.
This was a beautiful round start coming out from them. But even then, RAD Syndicate, they still have a lot more ground to cover to try and make this entry happen. Positions are perfect with the doors now opening through. They're trying to maybe flush out at least one of these defenders into a little bit more of an uncomfortable angle. That's going to be the players to take these swings, and they've instantly entered onto the side. The shots just don't connect coming in from the members of GGEZ, and they do fall under that pressure. 12-6 now, a necessity. As the members of RAD Syndicate, they're closing out this second game almost instantaneously. As for now, fighting for a comeback, fighting for a chance to get us into overtime will be none other than the defenders of GGEZ. Question being, how long can they even fight for? Do they just want to give up this map and go over to the third? Because this initial start for them has not been looking that good. RAD Syndicate, they've proven that they can make even these gods bleed. They're having such a rough time trying to figure out exactly how these rushes are working, because most of these rounds just came down to the wire where GGEZ, they just tried to sit back, relax, and allow their opponents to make the start happen. But as soon as they try to do something like that, RAD Syndicate just put up the heat in like a matter of seconds, and that instantly broke down their opposition. I have no idea what they were even trying to go for, because GGEZ, they were lacking information, and if you don't have that information, if you get hit like that, it just doesn't work out for you.
Let's see. It's already a 12-6 scoreline, and RAD Syndicate, they're at the match point now. GGEZ.
Yep.
Well, a lot of things happened, and I think since the beginning of the game, we have seen GGEZ struggle a lot. This is a completely different RAD Syndicate, and the game is completely favoring them at this point. Well, we all know we are in for a treat. We are going in for the third and the final map. But the way RAD Syndicate played, they have, they have completely shifted the narrative aggressive. You look at that game number 1, then you look at this game number 2. Just look at the difference, right? It's a purely one-sided affair as of now. All the rounds we have seen, even the rounds that GGEZ won, they were pretty close. Very, very close, right? For example, one of the rounds they've won with Omen with only 19 bits of his health. That shows how powerful RAD Syndicate is in this game.
There's gonna be another bigger problem for this Machiavelli. He actually pulled out the Allfather to try and stop these aggressive rushes, but I think they've already just called out their sides. There's no way they're gonna be able to win this one. Machiavelli with his last dying breath wanted to maybe meme out a little bit here. Maybe utilize that Voden to just propel his team forward, but now it's just all done and dusted. There's nothing more that you can bring in towards this round in particular. UV, it's just waiting to maybe go in for this opening kill as well. Good utilization here for the 2-4. It's just going to be so much pressure. He's not even breaking this. He's that confident that he's going to be able to find the skill. Yes, he does. Now it's all up to DC, down to 10 HP. They know that he has nothing to his name. Sings around the corner. Tries to be a little bit cheeky here, trying to go in for that knife, but instead it's going to be going for the shorty to instantly bring down his opposition. 13-6, ladies and gentlemen, to take this victory. And RAD Syndicate, we pretty much guaranteed the fact that this was going to go to that third map, right? Because both of these teams are just that good. And knowing all of that, knowing all of this, that third map where RAD Syndicate possibly will have an even more of an easier time, Bind is going to be an absolutely insane one to watch, because that is one of the best maps for Vibor as well. When he's playing that Viper, the team just turns into a completely different beast. But that's kind of the question, where I do believe that the scoreline is going to be able to paint a better picture on what really went wrong for them on this particular map of Lotus, because there were a lot of moving pieces that just didn't really mesh together. Each cog was turning at its own pace for the members of GGEZ, and none of it really came together to make the clockwork happen. the entire team was just doing their own thing, and not even once did they really, how do you put it, not even once did they really come together to just give
Mm-hmm.
themselves an instance where, hey, if we are give themselves an instance, sorry, where teamwork really just made the dream work, right? They just kept on doing their own thing. And when you're playing that game of when you're playing a game of Valorant, especially when your opponents are this well coordinated and this well rush centric, unless you play together and just find those trades and be ready to take duels like that, your opponents are just going to keep on running you down. And that's exactly what RAD Syndicate did. They found out that the pressure coming in from their opponents, GGEZ, just didn't really try to fight against them at all. And UV was having a field day for that very reason. Where is your information? Where is the utility that you need to try and flush out an offer of UV's caliber? Because you were sending your neon to try and get up close and personal to him. You already witnessed that it just didn't work. Why are
Mm-hmm.
you still trying to do it? And it's been that recurring theme for GGEZ that caused them to have so much grief in this particular map.
Indeed, I hope they just learn from all these mistakes and maybe come back even stronger in that third game, because remember that third game is going to be the last game, ladies and gentlemen. You do not have any more lifeline. Neither of the team has any lifeline now. You lose that one, you'll be sent back to the lower brackets, and then you'll have to continue our journey from the lower brackets, right? But if you want to stay in the upper bracket, if you want to succeed and want to get to the finals, upper bracket finals, you'll have to win this game anyhow somehow. And let's see what they're gonna do, because this game number two was a complete annihilation. After losing that game number one, I was not expecting this kind of a domination, but they did it. UV did it, and not only UV, even Garv played really well. We have seen some pretty good rounds where he came up with a clutch, and he literally won those rounds for the team.
Absolutely. All these rounds really just came down to UV having that phenomenal performance. And if you guys want to have phenomenal performances when it comes down to your matches and, of course, your workflow, make sure to check out all the links down below in the description for the Nitro Light 16. A bold new book for the battlefield. The Acer Nitro Light 16 drops with a clean white finish and the firepower to back it up, powered up by the Intel 13th Gen processor and includes an GeForce RTX 4050 graphics. This machine just doesn't keep up. It also takes over. The 16-inch display, an IPS display, mind you, with 165 hertz refresh rate, does allow you to have ultra smooth frames when you're working and, of course, when you are gaming as well. In addition, it does have a dual fan, dual intake, and dual exhaust thermal system that keeps things cool when the game does start to heat things up. And with all of that specs, you got to make sure to check out the links down in the description, because the people here at Acer Predator, they have you covered when it comes down to performance, and also keeps your wallet happy as well. For you guys back at home, another thing that will also make you happy is that we have the scoreboards ready. So we're going to be jumping on down over into that before we go on to map number 3 here, ladies and gentlemen, because on a 13-6 scoreline, RAD Syndicate, they have really proven themselves to be a team to be reckoned with. 28-10 for UV. This chamber of his is just insane to watch, because UV was playing that Euro previously, right? He didn't have that much of a strong performance, but on that chamber, when he's solo by himself holding on to any of these sites, 7 first bloods to his name, this guy is just a force of nature.
7 first bloods and almost a 30 bomber, almost 28 kills. Impressive KD, 28-10. Wow, UV, what a way to play. Let's jump on to our MVP, and we all know who it is. It is UV. 28 kills, 10 deaths, 392 ACS. That just goes on to show how good of a player he is. And man, him on chamber on the map of Lotus, it's a delight to watch.
Absolutely. An average damage per round of 222 as well, with a 392 ACS. UV was an absolute game changer. That was a requirement for RAD Syndicate to take this victory. And as we head on down onto Bind, UV, I do believe, is going to go back to that chamber as well once again, because Bind is another map where chamber really does find a lot of value if you do know how to play him for those close quarters operator tools. But I digress. we can break down that third game as much as we goddamn want, but at the end of the day, it really does come down to the players and how they do play to its fullest fruition, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to have to see whether or not we're going to be going into a break here, because I'm pretty sure that the players are already gunning to make this last and final game happen. This BO3 has dragged on for quite a while because of this very reason, because both of these squads are up at arms to be at each other's throats and really bring down their opponents. But as we have gotten the confirmation that game number 3 is going to take a little while longer to set up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be heading on down over into a very short little break. So here's a couple of words from our sponsors. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. The last game was an absolute stomp of a showing coming in from the members of RAD Syndicate, where UV really did take that limelight from almost everyone. He was the spotlight player, and honestly, getting that MVP to his name was pretty much warranted. And don't forget, these MVPs do rack up as well, ladies and gentlemen. So having consistent performances throughout this entire tournament does mean that you qualify for that MVP prize pool of 50k INR by itself. Mind you, the two teams that do make it towards the grand finals, they will be fighting for a line shares of the prize pool as well of 6.5 lakh INRs, with the winners getting 4 lakhs to their name and the runners up getting 2. But that MVP prize pool is up for grabs for any player from any of these teams. So make sure to have those consistent performances, and knowing UV, if he has that consistent performance again for game number 3, he's probably going to be in the lead compared to everyone else. We don't know what Venka is going to be doing from SAQL, because Venka was the other one that had 2 MVPs previously, but UV can easily overtake him here if he plays his cards right.
No doubt, if he plays like what he did in the previous game, he does have a pretty good chance, a pretty solid chance to win a huge MVP prize pool, and a huge prize pool altogether. His team has a pretty good chance of becoming the champions here and get all the prize money for themselves. But as for the games, we only have one game left in this BO3 series, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be the decider, the last game of the series. In the previous game, there was kind of a buffer. They had a pretty good lifeline, so yep, they were not that tensed, not that pressurized, but now they'll have to be a lot more pressurized. And then we have this team that is so good after winning game number 2 with such domination. They'll for sure be feeling that confidence in themselves. And team Red Syndicate, they'll only try to replicate that gameplay in this game number 3 as well, especially UV, right? And I'd love to see how many kills UV gets at the end of the game.
Absolutely. I'm interested to see how far they're going to go with this one. And so many of these rounds really just came down to the wire now, didn't it? That UV just had that phenomenal performance where he single-handedly took like multiple different multi-frags, and the fact that he was still staying alive, possibly even got an ace in one of those rounds as well. GGEZ just couldn't get a read on what UV was trying to do, sorry. And on Bind as well, it might be a very apparent story. As the game is almost up and ready, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be jumping into that in just a bit here, but this storyline that we have built from the very beginning on the map of Haven, where GGEZ took a very easy victory, up to the second where RAD Syndicate really just put the turnaround up against GGEZ, where they were made to look the fools. Now here in Bind, they know what to expect. They know that RAD Syndicate are no pushover of a team. And if they want to win, they have to pull out on all the stops to make it happen.
No doubt, they'll have to do everything they can. They'll have to put out every trick on their sleeves and in their arsenal. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's going to be one amazing matchup, that is for sure, because this is the final game of this BO3 series. This is upper bracket semifinals number 1. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Yep. Before we do jump on down over into the game, ladies and gentlemen, we have to see exactly what the APL is going to be looking like. So we have a short little teaser for you for back at home. Make sure to check it out and let us know what you think about it. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You can see exactly what the APL has in store for you guys back at home, and of course for the players as well. So if you want to book yourself a ticket for the main stage, or even for the India Qualifiers Grand Finals, keep on staying tuned for it all. Make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification down below. And of course, follow us on our social media pages, because that's where all the information will be given to you guys as the semi-final stage comes to a close. And hey, if you want to support Acer and of course the Predator series to make sure that they bring even more action next year when the next Acer Predator League comes around, make sure to check out the links down below in the description and get yourself one of the Swift lights, because the Swift Neo, similar to the other laptops that we were showcasing, it's just built for the performance, ladies and gentlemen, with a lightweight, sleek, and premium design powered by an Intel Core Ultra processor featuring a stunning OLED display. This laptop offers crystal clear visuals and unmatched speeds. Plus, with the Copilot, you get an AI-driven experience that adapts to your workflow, making multitasking and productivity effortless. Let it be gaming or even video editing, Acer has you covered for everything that you need. But enough talk about the laptops. We need to talk about the game now. Third map. What's your take on this one, Flashing? Because I honestly do believe that RAD Syndicate, with the momentum that they have from that last map, should be the ones to win. But I want your take on it.
I'll have to agree with you on that, right? Because I think I previously mentioned that too, right? They'll try to just secure that momentum that they left behind in that second game, and if they'll be able to do that, that's gonna be their game, right? Especially the way some of those players played. You'll have to be very careful. I don't know how GGEZ is gonna face them, because RAD Syndicate, if they can just keep up with the momentum, it's gonna be their game, no doubt. Just look at those agent picks: a Cypher, Breach, Brimstone, Sky, and a Raze in the team.
I don't like this. I don't like the fact that Tricky went for the Sky here. Fade would be a lot more of a better option. You already have that Breach to give you those flash initiation. This might be difficult for RAD Syndicate because they don't have a lot of rechargeable utility to try and play for, so they need to invest a lot and telegraph their takes. Otherwise, they have the risk of making this Sky completely useless. While GGEZ opting for the much more standardized pickup, a much more modern approach to this particular map here, with the Deadlock coming into play. And of course, the Fade being a mainstay, with the Euro being that flash initiator slash pseudo duelist for that team. What exactly do GGEZ have in mind here? This composition requires a lot of coordination to really play out perfectly. And unless we see that level of coordination come out from them here, it's not going to be looking that simple. I like the idea, but at the same time, these ideas just need a lot more time to become fruitful now, doesn't it? It's not been easy for them. No game is ever going to be that easy. That's understandable, but these rounds are just all over the place.
Well, let's see. We have seen UV with a chamber, and man, the way he played. But this time he's on a Brimstone, on a controller. Let's see how he's gonna perform on a controller now. Let's jump into the game, ladies and gentlemen. RAD Syndicate taking on GGEZ in the final game of this BO3 series. This is upper bracket semi-final number 1, and Tricky gets a pretty solid kill to begin with, but they go with a 1v2, and it is DC who knows where.
Oh my
UV
god, what a
is,
shot,
and
UV.
Man, watch. Wow. What a shot.
Now Machiavelli. It's also in a spot, but good kill coming out from the Frenzy. He's going to be able to find the secondary as well. Good initial shots being taken. Machiavelli, he's just waiting to try if he can find the timing here, but Gaurav just comes in alive for this one. He does get the hit, and that's going to be 1-0 on the scorecards. The members of RAD Syndicate, a little bit dicey right at the very end there here, clashing, but even then, they make the turnaround happen. These are the rounds that they need to stabilize. These are the rounds that they require to get the ball rolling in their core. Being a very momentum-heavy team, getting this pistol round for themselves means a lot more to them than it would be for the members of GGEZ.
Perfectly done. What a round came in, and we have seen some pretty amazing shots in just the first round of the game. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is GGEZ who have won the very first map. Then came RAD Syndicate, and they have simply dominated the second game. Let's see what's gonna happen in this third game. Paradox. He does have some idea that there are players moving ahead. Already sound is given. Sinks. Utilizing all those abilities. Paradox. Oh, Garb with a 1v2. First Trinity, then he gets Makaveli, and Paradox came in as a senior and got Kohli. GGEZ. They're gonna lose another round at a flawless defensive victory for RAD Syndicate. A pretty solid start for RAD Syndicate. I have to say this.
They've been pretty eager in the way that they've been making these entries happen. For RAD Syndicate, most of the pressure really just comes down to them having a good read on what the positions are going to look like from their opponents. You have to give it to Paradox to just have that perfect timing on utility as well, where he saved Gurr from just getting lashed on by every single player in those positions. Flash utility already utilized to take early shower control. They know for a fact that no one's present on that side of the map here, but still Tricky does fall. This garage play just instantly being put onto a hold for this particular sideline. Shots missed out, and 406 is not going to be able to do much here. Peeking out, it's going to be UV, who does find one at the bare minimum, but does get traded out almost instantaneously. RAD Syndicate now opting for a retake. The B-side retake, always notorious to be one of the hardest to do. And with the deadlock, cutting off your initial fight, and of course the angle that you could have taken to go in for a slow lurk over into elbow, Paradox, he's got his work cut out for him, because two players, they're hungry for this kill.
They have no idea where Garv is. They had some idea about the breach, but they have no idea where the last surviving member, that is Raze, is. But finally, spotted Garv. A 1v4 retake, simply impossible with a Sheriff. And Makaveli deals the final blow. Finally, a breakthrough coming in for GGEZ, and unlike the previous game, GGEZ this time gets a breakthrough in the early stage of the game. Because I remember in the previous game, there was a certain point when the scoreline was what, 6-1 or 7-1? So GGEZ, they are not losing that momentum this early on this time. It's a 2-1 scoreline now, and GGEZ, they're gonna have a pretty solid arsenal now. And so does RAD Syndicate. Makaveli will try to get the entry. Tricky. A good paint shell. Trinity is struggling to enter, but yeah, they'll simply back off. A pretty good fake, and they can already start to move on towards A, and that's what they're gonna do. A single entry frag is all they need to plant the spike.
They need one of their members of RAD Syndicate to be a little bit more of an open angle too. It's going to be a necessity for them to try and take this fight, but this is so much more of a laid-back approach than what we're used to from the members of RAD Syndicate. They're not aggressive for any of these fights, while GGEZ, they're biding their time. They have the dimensional drift for the level of information. Already the hits all coming through. Deadlock utility being given to try and force them on towards the island here. But even then, Paradox, he's going to be able to come alive. Multiple kills come down for his end. Gurb in position. He's going to be able to find out another good flash here coming in from Paradox. That was a necessity for them to try and turn this one back. DC though now stuck in towards the side of the default box. Tricky in position, swings across, has the first initial timing coming in from Paradox here. And as soon as DC had his head turned, Tricky instantly comes alive to go in for that pounce. 3-1 as RAD Syndicate, they take these rounds back in their favor. Yes, but GGEZ, what do they have in store? What do they want to do to try and get it back into their own ball court? Because that last round was a buy round for them, and this one, it's going to be a very difficult eco try and do.
GGEZ. Well, the previous game was already a huge setback for them, and if RAD Syndicate can somehow secure a good lead in the first half, that's gonna be a game over for GGEZ. Garv gets Trinity, but Kohli will instantly trade him off. Oh, DC gets UV this time. That too with a Sheriff, but Paradox it is who's holding the side, and as long as he's standing there, it's impossible to secure and plant the spike. Paradox with a 3k, Bibhor. The counter frags did came in, but it's going to be a 1v1 with Bibhor with only 35 bits of his health.
No real way to get ultimate points either. It's gotta be Sinks who takes this fight. Just have the chance here already. He's able to work up the courage to clear out a lot of these power positions. The board does have the orbital strike to really waste out the time, and Sinks he's kind of expecting this. But with the player being all the way towards the opposite side of the map, Sinks already knows the position. He's expecting him towards the garage side, but time taken away. He needs to go in for the half defuse. He's not going to be able to do so. Position's already done and dusted, and Vibhor, he has all the utility in the entire world to slow him down. Sinks knows that there's no way he can win this round, and Vibhor, beautifully played out, went in towards the shower side instead of trying to stick it from the lineup positions that generally people take on towards A short. Smart overall for the plan. GGEZ won upon the individual brilliance of Vibhor, but this just really came down to Paradox for no apparent reason, swinging out and giving his life away. He knew he could have just waited for Sinks to come on down, rendezvous with him, and then take the 2v1, but instead Paradox, he was just like, nope, I'm gonna be the one to take the fight and take all of the glory. And instead, he's gonna be the one to fall flat on his face as RAD Syndicate. They're not gonna be happy about this one, but at the same time, it's not gonna be hurting them as much because the economy, yes, it is in shambles, but from what we have seen, this team performs incredible on those thrifties as well.
Absolutely. They know it, we know it, everybody knows it. They have no idea where Sinks is, and he's gonna punish them for it. A pretty solid 1v2, and the best part is they have the control of the spike now. Let's see. The spike gets retrieved. Cypher will back off immediately. Two more people to support him. Paradox gets DC with a classic. GGEZ, they have a pretty solid chance to win this one as Bibhor is still in the game. And there you go, Bibhor with a 1v3. Once again gets the victory for his team. GGEZ. So back in the game,
I
and
don't
RAD.
understand. Wait, why in the name of God did they even try to push in from Hookah? Yeah, I get it, you got the kill onto the player from Market, but that doesn't mean that Hookah is empty. You had two guns waiting for you on the side of B long. You could have just entered from B long. Both of these players would have had a weapon to take a fight then. But instead, trying to push from Hookah like that, they just didn't really have the proper mid-round plan here. As GGEZ, they do take this round. Yes, this was a thrifty round that really came down to the wire, but good God, RAD Syndicate, from winning rounds down back in towards the ditch, they lost out on two. Yes, they now have buys to really mount a proper defensive setup, but even then, these small mistakes really do add up. And unless they fix it soon, GGEZ could find out a way to really start to replicate it and also exploit it in the process.
No doubt. What a performance. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, check out the links given in the description below. You guys can also go ahead, check out our Aspire Go, a multitask like a prodigy with the Aspire Go's 14 AI PC, slim, powerful, and ready for every idea. It is ideal for multitaskers, makers, and minds in motions with its AI-powered performance. It's the laptop that thinks as fast as you do. Go ahead, check out all the products links given in the description below, and you can get instant bank discount offers up to 15,000 INR and cashbacks up to 5,000 INR. Back to the game, UV. We haven't seen much of UV in this game, right? In the previous game, it was only UV that we were getting to see. But Makaveli. Oh. The Yoru trick failed, and UV will simply collect the intel and will get back to the safety.
Trinity, you try to force this fight. Showstopper is now being utilized for either side of this. Even when there's absolutely no sound, they're up and ready, up in arms to try and take this duel. Last one's already spotted. Coley, he knows that he's in a pretty tough position with both players holding on to the spike. Coley needs to try and make this play happen, and he needs to try and make this one work. Tricky rendezvous already with his teammates. They're trying to spread out and see where they can try to find something for them. But Coley, I don't see a world where he's going to be able to make this lurk happen and try to isolate these 1v1s. It's all dependent on whether or not Tricky has that sixth sense that he's going to be coming in from the opposite side. They need to be careful, but they have the perfect crossfire setup already done and ready with. Perfect off angle already being taken by UV. And as soon as Coley walks in, an instant one tap to bring him back down to the earth. 4-3. As RAD Syndicate just keep on getting round after round for themselves. And even though they did lose out on 2 purely on the mistakes that they were making, you know that RAD Syndicate as a team, they just look to be in an absolute world of their own.
Indeed, they are. And finally, they're back in a proper controlled manner, playing in a proper controlled manner. Although the situation was pretty chaotic at the beginning, but UV, he held his ground and that helped a lot. Paradox. Oh, they're going for a counter push with a Rolling Thunder. Cypher. He has some idea about Kohli. DC goes down as well, and once again, RAD Syndicate showing us the amount of coordination exists between these players. Playing very coordinately. Meanwhile, Makaveli trying to land the spike on B side. A 3-2 retake with Yoru being on the side. Vibhor is pretty low though.
He's low on HP, but even then, he has a weapon in his hands. That one weapon will be their saving grace. But Vibhor, he needs to make the shots land for it to turn into that saving grace. Now doesn't. 5-3 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. There's only a couple of more rounds left in the regulation for this first initial half. They need to find that turning point to happen soon. GGEZ. So many of these rounds just are almost in their favor. They're almost able to find that perfect timing and that perfect lead that they need to try and take victory, but there hasn't been a situation where they've easily been able to turn this one back. RAD Syndicate now looking for a little bit more of an urgent hit here. Once again, they're up and ready for this fight. Flash already utilized, but immediately it's going to be Trinity who's able to come on alive. UV, though, instantly answers back. He does find the trades, but DC's up in arms to make sure his brothers don't die in vain. Flash to come across and an immediate double teleport being taken to just bait out their opposition. And instantly they do find the catch that they wanted. RAD Syndicate now need to opt for another instantaneous rotation straight through the teleporter or even through spawn, depending on what the call is. It's now GGEZ. They do have the advantage going for them. And with the plant now coming on down through RAD Syndicate, this retake, they have their work cut out for them.
Makaveli. The stakes are pretty high for him though. Tricky. They have no idea about Makaveli. He could change the game. DC will utilize his abilities. There you go. The spike is already half defused, but Ricky is only 30 HP. And there you go. RAD Syndicate lost yet another round, and it's a 5-4 scoreline for GGEZ. The best part about all this is that RAD Syndicate, they are showcasing us the amount of coordination they have shown us in the previous games as well. But the best part is that GGEZ, they are not making those stupid mistakes. They're playing a well-balanced game, and the scoreboard tells the story that this is an evenly matched competition.
Absolutely. You can tell that as a team, both sides, when they have the utility, when they have those ultimates online, they have a game plan in mind to play those post plants in before, leading his team to victory pretty much. Being the IGL for the team, you can tell that he's still getting so many of these frags when it is always necessary. This, of course, is an eco round coming out from their opponents, but even then, on these ecos, Vibor, these pre-fires coming out from him is absolutely beautiful. And with Paradox fighting his own inner demons on the opposite corner here, he's probably going to be able to find Machiavelli. He has no idea where Paradox could be here. With an early push from Showers, you can tell that he is now in deep in enemy territory. He will be able to save this gun at the bare minimum. And with this weapon, he should have that tiny little bit of extra firepower that's going to be required to take that win in the following round.
Machiavelli. Paradox. Got him, but yeah, it's a 1v4, so we know what's gonna happen. There you go, Trinity gets him, and a 5-5 equalizer on the scoreboard. This game is the decider, ladies and gentlemen. The decider of upper bracket semi-finals. This is a BO3 series. We have seen GGEZ win one. We have seen RAD Syndicate winning the second game. And now it's time for the decider, the third game. And we can clearly see the contribution that Bibhor has in the GGEZ scoreline. And it is really important for GGEZ that Bibhor plays this well if they really want to win this.
Yeah, Gurv's in a pretty good angle on his own accord as well. Gurv somehow just turns this one back, even with the satchels, even with so much pressure.
Ooh,
the two members sitting inside of the B side, UV and Gurv, just still stay alive. And they're able to do so much. 65 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. 75 soon to be found as the members of RAD Syndicate that really turned the clock back. The hits just keep on giving.
I love how UV got the opportunity and he gracefully accepted it. Secured a 4K amidst all the chaos. Now these are the kind of plays you'll have to come up with if you really want to be the very first finalist of Acer Predator League India Qualifiers. Bibhor gets blinded, tricky. They are trying to track a RAD Syndicate at the moment though, because the whole team is waiting outside the area. Trying to, oh, there you go. They're gonna get some idea that where the players are. We already have a Cypher and UV holding on to the side. And as long as UV is here, it's really risky to even enter the side. But yeah, let's see how they're gonna secure the side and plant this fight.
UV's gonna be another big game changer for it. Orbital Strike already utilized to try and stop the members of GGEZ from going in for a little bit more of a free plant here. With so much of the early utility invested, they need to worry about the player playing from the front end of the green boxes. The box's position yet to get opened up. Paradox is going to be able to find the first from inside of the smoke. They still have to worry about so much more. Ultimates now utilized, investments being done. Machiavelli's position revealed as well. The grab net for the close corners, and now it's all up to DC to try and go in for this clutch up against 4 players. It's never going to be that simple. Now is it Sinks is going to be the one to shut him down. 7-5, pretty much the exact same scoreline that we witnessed from them in game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. And if history does repeat itself, sorry, not game number 2, game number 1, and if history does repeat itself, GGEZ, they could be the ones to take an easy victory on the map of mine.
Let's see what's gonna happen. As of now, it is RAD Syndicate, the ones in the lead. A 7-5 score line, and as you rightly mentioned, we have seen a similar score line in game number 1. where GGEZ had a 7-5 lead. Let's see what's going to happen. Vibhor is giving everything he can, but Makaveli and Kohli, they need to level up their game as well. They are a very important piece of this puzzle. They'll have to come in, they'll have to step up, especially Makaveli on that hero who needs to get a little bit more contribution in the game. There you go. The cam gets destroyed immediately. It's a 7-5 scoreline, and Red, they are well aware of the fact that they need to win these two rounds of these two early rounds of the second half. And if they can do that, they'll be so close to securing this BO3 series.
I need to see where they're gonna go here. This piss around already starting things off with a shebang is gonna be the members of RAD Syndicate. As soon as we start things off, it's already done and dusted with it. Seems DC missed out on the grab net. Could have gotten that kill on the Paradox, but he bunny hops his way across. You can tell that they are falling like flies, and even though UV, he does get that kill, Vibhor is all the way in towards the back, trying to maybe bring some life back to his team, but 3 members still alive, and poor old Kohli, odds stacked against him, slowly walks up to his impending doom here pretty much. As RAD Syndicate, they're ready to shut him down. Even if he found one more kill there, the last player could have easily killed him off. 8-5 as RAD Syndicate, they're looking to take it to a 9-5 instead, where their team is still in a very strong and potent lead.
RAD Syndicate, pretty decent 3-round lead following them, and all they need from this point onwards are 5 more round victories. Whoever gets to the 13-round mark gets the victory. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the finale of this BO3 series. This is the decider of this BO3 series. Paradox, massive contribution. UV, massive contribution. Although UV did not had a boost, like a pretty good start, head start like he did in the previous game, but still he got 14 kills. That shows the precision this player has. This is the reason why he is so far ahead in that MVP race. A tactical timeout from the side of GGEZ, a much needed one, aggressive, a much needed tactical timeout, because remember, every single round counts.
Could have just taken the in-game tactical timeout, which was a little bit, I don't know, unorthodox coming out from them, but let's just see what they have in store for us, because these last couple of rounds have really just been GGEZ not really being able to communicate with one another. I do believe the team's just been all over the place. Again, the same problems that we witnessed from that last particular map seemingly is bleeding into this one as well, with the team synergy and the way that they play. It's just always in question now, isn't it? They do have weaker buys here, so I'm not going to be as harsh on them, but you can tell that RAD Syndicate in this particular round, because of the pause that they did take, they're doing a lot more of a slower approach, expecting their opposition to be the first ones to peek out and possibly take a fight. But for both squads, this is one of those Mexican standoffs that they're waiting for the clock to strike 12 to immediately bring in the gunfights. As the question being, who's going to be the first one to slip? And it seems as though it might as well be Paradox. He's itching to try and take this first fight. Dog does come through. The Trailblazers going to be able to get some form of information. Trinity in a really good angle. Now already the shot does work out in their favor. Garb is going to be able to find 2. Trinity with a double. Wait a moment. They've already turned this one back. The fact that Trinity was completely unnoticed for this long has now caused the entire team to fall apart. Seems as though GGEZ, they're thanking their lucky stars for this one. They still need to pick up that spike, but they're just not going to be able to. It's all up to Garb with the Marshall in hand to try and turn this one around, but instead it's going to be Makaveli who comes in with the classic and a right pick straight to the body to finish him off. 8-6 as GGEZ, they take that Thrifty out of absolutely nowhere the fact that Trinity was inside of the smoke for that long, and the fact that he found a double as well, now that was criminal.
That's the reason how they've got this round. Trinity. This is the moment. This was the moment that changed the trajectory of that round of the game. But RAD Syndicate, they still do have a lead. So yeah, they can still try to dominate around this, make a game around that. Let's see. We'll have to compliment it. Volley. Oh, now they have a proper buy. Now they have pretty good weapons. You cannot just push on towards them. We'll have to be careful. A paint shell, a perfect combination of attacks. They might even push, but a blind from Tricky. He's gonna instantly heal his players. GGEZ, raise is pretty low. There's no healer on their side. RAD Syndicate. They're gonna get the entry, a pretty easy one. No players lost as of now. Bibhor can get the second one. No, he won't. Paradox with a classic. A tight right click slap on his face. Makaveli is blinded. Cypher having no idea, but still gets the frag. RAD Syndicate. 2-2.
These trades have been so well played out coming out from them. And these rounds really does come down to that trade game now, doesn't it? Already ready for that first fight. It's gonna be DC, who tried to go in for a one-tap here, but UV just couldn't really do much now, could he? Didn't really have the best of weapons, and Paradox giving away his life like that again towards the side of Short was one of the main reasons why they did take a loss. But even on these eco rounds, the fact that they're getting this close is what really scares me. I don't see a world where even an equal round where all of their players opted to just go for those classics instead of even opting for a sheriff. I think only one player from the side of RAD Syndicate even bought a sheriff in that round. Everyone else just had classic in their hands and just ran in to go and take this into a 2v0 situation or even a 2v1. That's absolutely insanity. Players of RAD Syndicate.
Though they did got some pretty good kills, but eventually lost the round. Oh, Trinity! There you go, at least got a player with him. It is Tricky. Tricky and Trinity will finish each other off. Makaveli with a spam. Makaveli. His patience is everything. He'll have to be very patient at this moment. Curve. Look at his HP. A single bullet can finish him off. Curve falls down. Oh, Makaveli gets 2 and Kohli gets 1. A 2-1 situation now, a 2v1. RAD Syndicate, they might even lose this one, and if this goes out of hands, it's going to be an equalizer for GGEZ. He knows where the players are. He knows. There you go. DC it is. He's gonna deal this final blow, and with this, GGEZ, they've won what? Third consecutive round after the tactical timeout?
Absolutely. It seems that the team has finally found that direction that they were looking for, inching closer to what they were previously for map number 1 on Haven. Their team is playing together. They're not really taking a lot of those unnecessary hits anymore. And specifically Trinity. He's just that player that is so important to them to make it work out well. But overall, even then, they cannot get too comfortable and happy about what their players are doing. But at the same time, GGEZ, they need to keep their minds cool and ready for it. Because the way that RAD Syndicate have been playing, they're always that uncommon X factor. A team that you can't easily get a good and proper read on. It's Makaveli now, showing exactly why the reads are just not possible. GGEZ, somehow they're turning it all around. One after the other, the kills just keep on rolling out in their favor. Players already spotted. Tricky's going to be good for 1. UV on the back lines. He did have the weapon. He tried to go in for an upgrade, and it was Vivor to shut him down. And for the first time throughout this entire game, it's going to be GGEZ who take the lead for themselves, 9-8. And somehow, in some shape and form, their team looks to be easily better one here. Even though we hyped out the members of RAD Syndicate so much up against this team, up against the squad that they bodied in that second game, the pressure that they have on Bind is just building up to the point of no return.
The presence is clearly visible. GGEZ. This team will not easily give up. And now they are the ones leading the charge. Oh, just look at that Trinity. Holding that hookah flawlessly. UV. Trying to get a frag through the smokes. But nah, it's already a 3v5. GGEZ. I love how they are simply waiting and waiting and waiting. This patience is the key, especially on the defensive DC. He'll definitely get a kill like this.
This is a rough spot
There you
here.
go.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep on falling one after the other. And the members of RAD Syndicate, they're just stuck on an island for this one. Trinity doesn't really have that perfect utility to give him that significant fight, but even then, Trinity with a 4K to his name to finish everything off. Paradox none the wiser for it because Trinity just flew into his face for that one. 8 to 10, ladies and gents, as GGEZ, they're one step closer to marking this victory. And one step away from being sent onto upper bracket finals. We're still yet to know exactly what's gonna happen next for this. But as of right now, GGEZ, there's almost nothing that they can do wrong. A lot of the very passive playstyles that they were trying to do previously on that initial couple of phases just doesn't exist anymore. They're being so much more aggressive here, and that aggressive tone is what really allowing GGEZ to control the flow of the battlefield. RAD Syndicate, unless they are really able to just get a proper read on that overall aggression and tamper onto the sidelines where they can easily just force out a couple of more rotations, I do believe that GGEZ will start to scramble because as of right now, their Euro security is just a bit too good for its own good. Yeah, Machiavelli is not going strong when it comes down to the kill department, but honestly, the way that he's setting up his teammates with flashes and, of course, the amount of value that he's bringing with the dimensional drift as well when it is online, it's very apparent that this team is built around one singular player for a lot of their fights, but they need to be careful on this one because in these buy rounds, in this eco round, sorry, RAD Syndicate can easily be an even more of a bigger problem in comparison to when they have weapons.
Machiavelli. Just look at his precision. He waited and waited and waited for the perfect opportunity, although tricky. Man, a 1v2. Those headshots were spot on. But Trinity will finish off Sings, and now it's all down to the last surviving man, Tricky. His HP is already very low, a 1v3. Let's see. Tricky. We'll have to figure out something or other. Because GGEZ, they've already won 5 consecutive rounds, and this is going to be their 6th one. Just imagine the amount of confidence they have right now.
The amount of players that they do have on the server right now, you can tell that GGEZ, they're just swarming every single member of RAD Syndicate as soon as they turn around. These side takes coming out from RAD Syndicate have just been so lax in the way that they're taking these duels. All their members are just all over the place, and you can see that on the instant replay as well. I think, look at the way that this fight was taken too. The fact that Paradox just didn't really even check towards the left side corner when he was scaling up was another one of those situations where the team just is not playing for the basics of Valorant. They're not clearing their corners properly. They're not establishing the proper level of map control that is pretty much required to play professional levels of play. They're making a lot of mistakes. And honestly, those mistakes are compounding out of control. This is the last round of regulation for them, technically, because they will not have buys after this. Their team falling into tatters as RAD Syndicate look to make the B side last side that they're going to be able to take an entry onto. Possible rotation could also come through directly from the teleporters. We don't know just yet. And with the Seekers coming across, RAD Syndicate, what do you have in mind? Orbital Strike now invested in towards the back of side. It's going to be one, and one after the other. They do fall. Finally, we do see the signs of life coming through for the members of GGEZ as they do fall. And RAD Syndicate, they're finally bringing things back 9-11. And this is the team that we wanted to see. This is the urgency that the team is known for. And utilizing information, they make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, RAD Syndicate, they're not yet ready for this one.
RAD Syndicate fighting back. Let's see how this team, how these players are gonna fight back from this situation. It's already a pretty bad situation for them, but then again, the difference is not so huge. There's 2 rounds lead that GGEZ holds, but the way they've got that from a 5-8 score line to a 9-11 score line shows how precise GGEZ's play is. Machiavelli gets one, Tricky gets Trinity. The teamwork seems to be improving. GGEZ. Some combined attacks coming in, and UV will collect some intel and will back off. RAD Syndicates. They are well aware of the fact that even a single round can cost them this whole BO3 series. That's why they have been very, very patient. Extremely patient. Let's see. They'll have to make a move. Only 50 seconds remaining on the clock.
Very slow on this overall approach. This is what I'm really worried about. DC is just waiting for him on the opposite side. Has the Annihilation ready as well for anything that could happen here. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the Cypher who did find the opener. It's going to be Vibor who does get caught out by the ultimate here. But even then, the fact that DC still has the Annihilation ready, he can easily just grab one of these players and instantly find a catch on towards them. But look at the positioning coming in from Sinks over from the opposite side. UV is going to be the one to fall. Machiavelli does get that kill onto Sinks, though. Never mind. This entire round's been turned on its head. Tricky, he needs to take this duel. He needs to be the first one to win out on this engagement, but his position's already revealed. They're still going to be able to find the Sprags. Tricky alive and kicking. He's going to be able to find 2. Now looking for the last few. As DC will coming in from one side. Tricky knows the exact positions of both, but he still can't really go in for this fight. Trailblazer utilized, but he can no longer go in for this swing. This is all done and dusted. If he wants to try and fight across from this fire, he is going to fall. As now GGEZ, they take the 12th on the board. A heartbreak of a loss when it comes down to this round. The positions were perfect, but the fact that Sinks missed his opportunity on Machiavelli as he was trying to rotate in from spawn was the thing that caused this to happen. Even if, let's say, Sinks did die after getting that kill on the Machiavelli, at least it was in the favor of GGE, in the favor of RAD Syndicate there. But instead, GGEZ just had so much more to play around with.
Man, oh man. GGEZ, now this is the kind of gameplay everyone was expected from them since the beginning, but after the tactical timeout, these players have already switched the gear. Just look at Trinity, already leading the charts. He's the top fragger of the lobby right now, but Trinity got denied this time. It is Garv trying to prove himself. His team needs him. Oh, Garv gets a second one, but Vibhor Kohli. These two players came from behind, delivered the perfect game. Paradox! He did give his team an opportunity, but now it's all down to Sinks. Can he secure a victory in this round?
Don't second guess yourself, Kohli. The years of experience that you do have. He's giving away the sound cue, Kohli! This is why you don't use a blinded scroll wheel jump on the game of Valorant. Oh no, Coley. This is why scroll wheel jump is something that is hated by 90% of the community. At least in this game. He accidentally jumped and gave away his position. GGEZ, that's a heartbreak of a round in there. Yikes.
It was so close. We were this close to get our very first finalist. Let's see. This has given them a lifeline. RAD Syndicate. Now you'll have to make sure you do not waste this chance. 2 more rounds and we'll be up for an overtime. Let's see. RAD Syndicate. They're again taking their sweet little time. Now this is the kind of patience you require, but at the same time you'll have to be very mindful about the time on the clock. Bibhor.
What shot. They do fall though, regardless. They don't really have the weapons to fight into this. The multi-frags just do not happen. It's now RAD Syndicate. They're looking to fasten up these shots. One after the other, they keep on falling as RAD Syndicate possibly mounting a comeback here. 1 round away from taking us into overtime here, ladies and gentlemen. With GGEZ, that last round was an eco for them, so now with the buys coming on through, this is their last chance to really make this one happen. This is their last opportunity to take a 13-11 scoreline victory and deny RAD Syndicate that opportunity to keep their upper bracket dreams alive. To get that one-way ticket over to that upper bracket grand finals. You really do want to go the distance now, don't you? This is where the fight has to begin for them. Machiavelli's going to be able to get out. GGEZ, they have all the information that they would have wanted, but look at the amount of ultimates in the hands of RAD Syndicate. They just need to make a proper execution happen. Those Seekers alone are just all that they would need. The Seekers and the Orbital Strikes can give them so much free space to play for. But losing out on any of their players early would be the thing that causes problems. I don't like the fact that the members of GGEZ are playing it so slow on this one. It's very risky, to say the very least, because the fact that their players are now just waiting for the hit to initially come through. Trinity is going to be the first one to take a fight, but no, Sings! He gave up on that fight a little bit too early. The shots just keep on connecting, and even though Garvin's going to be able to find it, this is just not going to be the way that it works, because GGEZ, they utilized the Orbital Strike perfectly. They cut off the entry point from coming in, and Tricky, he can't even go in for the cross. 30 seconds left on the clock. They need to go in for the rotation, but he's waiting for them on the opposite side of the map. He's going to be able to find the catch before they're even going to be able to walk in. Perfectly placed out GrabNet to catch out the players as they were trying to rush out, and here comes the players. DC, perfect on the angle, waits for the timing. He's gonna walk for the swing. He just finds the first and immediately goes in for the last. The players are now trying to find the kills. The damage is already done, and the players cannot survive. It is gonna be GGEZ who's able to find the fight, and the shot just connects it before the captain for the team, and of course the IGL to make sure that his team crosses that finish line. 1-13 as GGEZ, they take this victory for themselves.
Man, oh man, what a game it has been, the whole BO3 series, but this moment changed it all. Trinity! The execution, the planning, everything was spot on. And RAD Syndicate, I'm kind of feeling bad for them as well, aggressive, because they were so close to winning this, they were so close to that OT, they were so close to be planting that spike. But everything fell apart, and we have got our very first finalist of this Acer Predator League India Qualifiers. Amazing. What an amazing game it was.
Correction, it's the upper bracket finalists, because we still don't know who's going to be actually heading on down to the grand finals just yet.
Yeah.
Because there is the upper bracket, ladies and gentlemen, and of course those lower bracket run as well. So 2 teams will be selected from either side. So even though RAD Syndicate, they did lose here, honestly, it was so close that really just came down to you winning out in that 1v1. And honestly speaking, those 1v1 fights are generally a 50-50 and very dependent on the player if they have
Mhm.
enough of information. And of course, if their game sense is telling them that fight code. And for Pip, man, this is exactly what you wanted to see. This guy, the captain for the team, really coming on alive. It's been years since I'd last seen Vibor play, and honestly, he's aged like fine wine. He is not that superstar level player anymore like he used to be, but he's still an experienced presence on the team that knows how to lead it to victory. And when you have such a good leader on your squad, even if he's not able to hit the shots that he was able to a couple of years back, you could tell that the team
Mhm.
had that proper direction, and they will be getting a lot more better if he just keeps on playing with them, and of course gives them that proper time for those scrims as well. Yes, today was a rough start for them on that second map, but on the third one, they really pulled back and showcased to us exactly what this team looked like on map number one and how it can translate into even more round wins when map number three rolled in. Machiavelli has to be that other X factor of the team as well that we need to talk about a little bit more. The way that he utilized those flashes, the way that he turned himself into initiator when it was necessary. It's stuff like this, the smallest of details that gave the members of GGEZ this victory. And Rat Syndicate just didn't really have that same level of synergy up in between them. Paradox, he did try to go in for a lot more of those set plays and setups, but he's not a breach player. He generally plays that Omen that and that duelist. So the fact is, he just couldn't really find that dynamic play that was required from your duelist player and your initiator. It's tough, but this loss is on them for not having enough practice playing in those dual based comps. Because if I remember properly, Paradox always used to play with Homeboy. And the fact that Homeboy is not here, I think that the communication between the duelist and the initiator just didn't really gel that well together compared to what we generally know them for.
And even though they have had a pretty decent lead at some point, it was a 8-5 score line. So there was a huge lead you had. There was a huge lead you guys were enjoying. They were confident, especially UV. We have seen UV dominate
True.
that second game with a total of 28 kills. Even in this game, I think he had more than 20 total kills. So that just kind of showcase how good of a player he is. But then again, uh, the gameplay that came in from the side of
Yeah,
GGEZ as a
23.
whole, uh, UV 23 kills, and then Trinity. And I believe Trinity shifted the gear after that tactical timeout. Before that, we haven't seen much of him as well.
Well, one of the good things for Rat Syndicate is that UV did take another MVP for himself, so he's technically up on the leaderboards for the MVP rating. And of course, that 50k
Mhm.
INR to his name, so MVP of the match going to him is just not really that big of a surprise here. 165 damage per round. UV was just a consistent performer. Map number one, map number two, nothing has really changed. But what did change is the way that his teammates were playing throughout this entire game. It's just not enough for your Brimstone to frag out because honestly, Gurv just was not really that player that had that explosive level of performance. You could tell because Trinity was on the
Mhm.
opposite side of the spectrum playing the Raze as well, and the fact that his Raze found this much value in comparison to Gurv, you could tell that Gurv had a very silent performance. None of those rounds were really his to take. Yes, he did have some impact frags.
Mhm.
Yes, he did have some flashy kills, but he was not that consistent Raze that was required throughout the entire map. Not in the terms of frag, mind you. Like, I'm not saying that because Gurv had less kills that he was less impactful than Trinity, but Trinity had presence on every single one of those sites. And honestly speaking, taking this loss, it's gonna sting a little bit for Rat Syndicate, but those lower bracket runs still exist. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for you for this first initial BO3. The second one is still up and present soon enough in front of your screens, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be the 7 p.m. match. Do not forget about that one because that is one for the kickers. It will be Team Asterisk going up against SNUL. So make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell down below to do get notified when you do go live with that particular stream. And of course, make sure to check out the links down below in the description to check out Acer Predator laptops. There's a host of selections for you, so make sure to check out all of that down in the description. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive with Star Clashing signing on off, and we're going to be back with you real soon with a lot more action for the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe bankroll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe bankroll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow Follow me, it's the Acer Show. Follow me, it's the Acer Show. Follow me wherever we go, follow me wherever we go. Fast, we cool, snap a dick, we groove, vibes, let those big friends laugh and we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Click, sleek, swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on might. Work or play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo. You feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy on might. Work or play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn and flip every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On the edge, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.